Soccer Day. It's July 25th, 2000. For a group from the United Kingdom, it may feel like tonight's match is being played on the sun's surface. Triple digits throughout Sacramento today, leading to a hot night in the River City. West Brom Albion has used attempts in the high 60s. They'll be tested in the heat against the Republic here tonight at Bonney Field. Good evening, everybody. I'm Rob McAllister alongside. He's my broadcast partner, Kevin Goldthwait. Several years in the MLS, and here he is tonight with us on a warm evening. Triple digits tonight. It's got to be quite something for West Brom to come in here training in California. They've been a few warm days in the 90s, but a couple of trips over to San Francisco, feeling a little bit like home. But, oh, man, here tonight, they have got to be ready. They are playing in the hot sun. We know they travel all around. Kevin, is this heat going to be a factor?
You know, they've probably been here all week now. I think it might be an excuse for them the first day or so, but they're probably used to it by now. Like I said, they've been training all week here in Sacramento. Weather's been creeping up warmer and warmer throughout the week, so it shouldn't really be too much of a factor. I'm sure these guys will stay hydrated. The temperature should drop a little bit as the night progresses, so really don't imagine it being too much of an issue tonight.
And so Sacramento Republic taking on the West Brom Albion Baggies once again. Now they did fall on Monday, a 1-0 victory for the Baggies, and it was a penalty kick that sealed the deal for the United Kingdom squad here, who's traveled all the way from England. And we'll talk more about this matchup and Kevin's keys to the game coming up after this.
When it comes to meeting the world's energy needs, what's needed now is new thinking, new technology, and a new source to cleanly and cost-effectively power us into the next generation.
As a company, we don't encourage waste, but we do encourage that if you have it, make something purposeful with it.
Atlas Refuel, using anaerobic digestion, breaking down food waste into clean natural gas. Replacing nearly 1 million gallons of diesel annually results in significant savings for all automotive fleets. For more information, atlasrefuel.com.
I was looking for a health plan that could give me more value for my money. That's why I chose Western Health Advantage, and so should you. My family has access to a wide network of quality doctors and services, so I have peace of mind knowing that we have the coverage we need and we're ready no matter what happens.
Discover the advantages at westernhealth.com. Western Health Advantage. Advantage you.
Sydney needed some financial guidance so she could take her dream to the next level. So we talked about her options. Her valuable assets were staying, and selling her car wouldn't fly. We helped Sydney manage her debt and prioritize her goals so she could really turn up the volume on her dreams today and tomorrow. So let's see what we can do about that.
Motorcycle. Some questions take more than a bank. They take a banker. Make a My Financial Priorities appointment today, because when people talk, great things happen.
The Tower Bridge Battalion is in their seats. Rob McAllister, Kevin Goldthwait. We are as well ready for another match against West Brom here tonight. Sacramento trying to break this friendly streak, Kevin. It has been quite ugly for them tonight. They lose to the Rangers, and here they lose to West Brom, all within a few nights back here now. A couple of evenings to get things back in order, a couple of day practices to see where the Republic stand here. Again, West Brom tonight. What are the keys here? I mean, this is a team that really played well, I believe, on Monday night, controlled a lot of the possession time, made a nice run in the second half, but just could not get it done, could not put one into the net. Keys tonight, how do they break through and how do they get a victory?
You know, I think tonight, if you're the West Brom and Republic, I think coming out of last week, or the last game we played against West Brom, Republic probably came home feeling pretty good about themselves, even though it was a loss, and I think West Brom probably left the game thinking they left a lot out there. So I think they're going to be pretty energized. The Baggies are tonight, and going to want to come out here, put on a show, show their fans back home a good score line. And for the most part, a lineup that's pretty much unchanged. It looks like they might try to go to a 4-3-3 formation. So I think they're going to come out energized, and I think the big keys for the Republic tonight are going to be how some of the veteran players can really step up and handle the pressure tonight. We got a pretty big change in the lineup, a new group coming in here, and I love to see Gilberto really put his stamp on the game tonight. Take some ownership, take some initiative, take some leadership on his shoulders, and he's in there with one of the new guys, J.J. Koval, who we'll talk about a little bit later. A rookie from Stanford, hasn't had too many minutes in professional environments, so I think that's going to be a big key for the Republic tonight, how the middle of the park can kind of match up against West Brom tonight.
Roberto's minutes have gradually increased over the last several weeks, a lot of it doing to so many matches. Everyone getting some quality minutes against some very good teams to see what they've been able to do with it. I know Coach Brecky's been impressed with a few of them, but it's still, again, going to be interesting how this 11 can come together tonight and how they can put it all together, because they have a very tough task ahead of them. Not a lot of changes for West Brom here this evening as they go with a very similar lineup of what we saw just a few nights ago. Let's begin with maybe one of the best goalkeepers in the entire world, Ben Foster, just coming back from the World Cup. He'll be in the box tonight. Very exciting to see a top-notch player right here in Sacramento.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to see Ben Foster. He's got quite the resume. Grew up through the ranks through the UK, and spent, I think, a lot of his time, 4 to 6 years ago with Man United, and slowly moved over to West Brom, and I think he recently signed a new deal with them to keep him at the club for the next 3 or 4 years. So he's the goalkeeper of the future for West Brom, and he's one of the best goalies in the EPL. Him and Joe Hart split time. Joe Hart got the majority of the minutes in the World Cup, but Ben Foster has seen quite a bit of minutes with the English national team. And when you're in that level of elite players, that says a lot about you and where you come from in your pedigree. And he's just a great shot stopper and a good all-around goalkeeper.
And so his forward defensive in front of him, the full backs will go right to left. It will begin with Andre Wisdom, who's on loan from Liverpool, just joining the club yesterday. He'll be along paired with Craig Dawson. On the left side will be Jonas Olsen and Sebastian Pocagnoli, the Belgian national. Now in the midfield will go Chris Baird, Claudio Jacob, and Josip Malumbo, the former West Brom Player of the Year in 2009. And then the man who scored the goal against the Republic just a few evenings ago, Graham Dorrance. He'll be up front with Victor Anichebe and Sado Berino. So a tough three again. We saw how physical Anichebe and Berino could be, and it's going to be a tough task for the Republic tonight. Dominic Jokubek making his 14th start in the box for Sacramento tonight. He will be key there as Jake Gleason continues to try to work his way back from a groin injury. Now the back four, Stephen Evans, Chad Bond, Harrison Delbridge, and Peter Gilbert, the trialist, getting another chance here. 2 matches in 1 week. We'll talk more about that and what this possibly means for him getting a chance with the Republic later on this season. Tommy Thompson, the little bulldog, coming back. He's in the midfield, taking over in the Rodrigo Lopez position in that left wing. And J.J. Koval on loan from the San Jose Earthquakes. He is here tonight just for 1 night. So it's a one-chance opportunity to see him, and then he'll be gone. And Gilberto in there along with Max Alvarez on the other wing up front. We really like this combination. Tommy Stewart and Sean Bartolome, who is making his 8th start on the year. The two seem to really be playing well up each other. You know, you have one guy here from Northern California, the other from Northern Ireland, and maybe it's that North connection, but they've had a nice pairing. How critical will they be to put some pressure on the back four?
You know, Tommy Stewart, when he came in the match the last game the other day, I thought he did a very good job of kind of exposing West Brom's back four, finding the channels, and to be frank, he probably should have had 1 or 2 goals, I think. So we'll see how he comes in from the start, see if he can get a good run, find the seams, find the gaps, find the channels, and hopefully the delivery of those balls for those runs will be good on Republic's end. So I think they've paired very well together, Bartolome and Stewart. Let's keep that trend going, and hopefully they can combine and get a couple goals tonight.
So Sacramento, they are really in the mix of a strong stretch here of matches, and they take on the Rangers. First started off with Orlando here at home, then you take on the Rangers, and then you West Brom again, and then on Sunday you'll take on a team in Pittsburgh who has had some struggles just so far in the season from the USL Pro. But what does this really say about this club? You know, it's a first-year team coming out here, and they want to see how these pieces come together. They start the first 5 matches on the road. Then they come home, really start to have some instant success, win 6 or 7 right in a row, or didn't mark a loss on their, at least their calendar there. So they get either a draw or a win in that stretch, play very well, lose a step on the road. Now you hear tonight another tough stretch. where do you grade this team so far? Where are they? Are they playing where they should be? Are they better than they are? They should be. Are they lagging behind a little bit, Kevin?
You know, I think with what the task that Precky's been, the hand that he's been dealt, essentially you got a whole bunch of players brand new to the club right now, never played together. And for Precky to come in here in the last 5 months, 4 or 5 months, to put them together, get these guys training day in and day out together, get them on the same page. I think Precky's done a phenomenal job of getting this group together, playing as a unit, and you see the progression as the year's gone. It's taken them, you know, it took 3 months for them really to kind of start hitting the stride, and I think, once again, it's credit to Precky and what Precky's done to get these guys to get all on the same page and play together. So, I mean, right now, I would think that they're playing very well. And we've also seen a lot of these, the reserve players come in and fill in very, very nicely, which is, I think, a huge testament, once again, to Precky for how well he trains his players. Is you get these guys coming in who don't necessarily get the majority of the minutes. They come in and they fill in nicely, and there isn't this huge drop-off in play. So that, in my mind, is just credit to the coaching staff, namely Precky, and even Graham Smith for bringing in the right personnel, the right players. And so far, I think, you know, they're definitely above where you know, if you would have told me 5-6 months ago that we'd be in the position we're in right now, 3rd or 4th in the league, pushing forward for a playoff run, competing against some English Premier League teams, I think I would have told you you'd been crazy. But I think, once again, it's credit to Precky and Graham Smith and the club for putting this group together.
Well, Graham Smith played at West Brom in the 72-73 season. He's got a couple of matches underneath his belt there for them. It's exciting for him, I know, to be able to watch some of these players. And we talk about putting a team together. Now, this isn't fantasy football and basketball and other sports a lot of people play, where you just pick the best 5 and put up the best numbers. You really need kind of that cohesive unit that can play together, and really an unselfish unit, because these guys are also vying to get it to a higher level. They want to move to the higher rank. So critical in the way that these guys fit together. Do you see a pairing or a couple, maybe the midfield or maybe the back four, that you seem to like? They really are playing well with each other. It seems to me that Vukovic and Daly have really become in stride with one another, and they seem to get back and forward really that we haven't seen so much. And here is an intro. We'll step away as we get ready for Sacramento Soccer Day Part 2.
Our foundation strong. Our story has just begun, but our game has stood the test of time. This is a game of cities, a game of countries. This, my friends, is the world's game. A game played to the sound of chants, to the sound of anthems. This game is played to the sound of glory. We don't only cherish this game, we revere it. It is our heart, our soul, our everything. And although this game is for everyone, this club is ours. We are Sacramento. Indomitable, we stand. For the Republic, we stand.
Rob McAllister, Kevin Goldthwait. Before we broke there, we talked a little bit about pairing these guys together, and we see Daly and Vukovic really start to play well off each other. And I know that Graham Smith has really tried to find not only the best players, but guys that work like that. And those two are starting to set the tone for, I think, others. Yeah, Vukovic and Daly in the back, they've paired very, very nicely together. Looks like they have some pretty good communication together, and they're just solid working together. Another pairing that, you know, I wouldn't say has necessarily been the best pairing so far, which we had high hopes for, was Brom and John up top. I think that, you know, those two players are very, very similar. Tough for one of those guys to kind of establish a different role. But once again, here as we have the playoff push moving forward, I think that these guys are going to hit their stride and really start scoring some goals. And even going back to finding these players, this is such a tricky level and league to find players for. You know, and I think credit once again is absolutely to Graham Smith for finding these players. Not necessarily players that have been, you know, in high demand. And another thing, you got to worry about budgets. You know, as any GM or technical director in any league, you got to start balancing these things. And to find these players, put them together from essentially from scratch, I think credit to Graham Smith for finding the right players, finding the bargains, finding the quality players, the players who want to work hard, and our team players. I think that Graham did a great job doing his homework, finding these guys, and setting his team up for as much success as possible. When the really the fishbowl is the world, and it becomes almost too big at some time. How do you narrow down what you want and what you don't want? Because everyone say, oh, it's nice that you have this luxury, but at the same time, it almost becomes too daunting. You probably overthink things a little bit.
It is incredibly hard. You see clubs, MLS clubs right now, that we're seeing a lot of DP signings, of designated player signings, where clubs are going down south to South America or overseas to England and Scotland, and finding these players who are DP level and paying these guys 7 figures. And it's not as easy as it looks. You don't necessarily just grab a forward who scored 20 goals in the previous year, and that's not necessarily going to translate to the next season in MLS. It's a different league. All leagues are different. Our league here in the U.S., the MLS, the USL, it's a blue-collar league where you got to come in and you have to work. If you're not going to work hard and bust your butt day in and day out, you're not going to be a success. And that's the tricky thing, is you get these players that come over and they might have a little idea that the league, they're a little bit above the league, MLS or USL, and that prevents them from working hard. And that's their Achilles heel, and that's what you're going to do is you're going to shoot yourself in the foot as a club if you're spending 7 figures on a player to come over and they don't want to work. So it just goes back to teams really doing their homework, and it's a special skill set that I think a guy like Graham Smith has, is to be able to identify these players, find guys that have the right attitude, the right mentality, bring them in, and then give them to Preki and have Preki mold these players and mold that team together as a one cohesive unit.
And what I've noticed is, talking with some of the West Brom guys and reading what we've seen from them, is that they talk about the fitness. They said Republic was very fit. They really put us to the test in that sense, made us work harder in the match than really I think what they were expecting. It's one thing to watch from the sidelines and you see, it looks like they're moving pretty well, but I think once you're out there, the speed of the game can really get things going. Probably gave Sacramento that advantage. That's second half on Monday night. They really started to push. They started making some really good shots on goal, getting looks right there. You had guys in open space able to place one right where they wanted to. Didn't work out in terms of scoring, but at the end of the day, it seemed that fitness really was key. Now, when you look at these type of different levels, and we have all different types throughout the world, as a USL Pro and MLS, are we one of the fittest groups?
Yeah. Every club, every league is going to be fit, but I think the one thing that Americans have, and the American leagues, the MLS, the USL, the NASL, any league you want to talk about, I think the work rate that managers and coaches demand out of their players is different than other leagues. We don't necessarily rely on the toka-toka, the pretty touches. We rely on hard work, tracking runners, getting back, getting your shoulders right defensively. And it's just the blue-collar mentality. And I think one of the stats that I read from the World Cup that was just kind of really put a highlight on what style of soccer we play is the U.S. men's national team. I think they're tracked. When you track these guys, they ran more miles per game than any other country in the world during the World Cup.
Can that be a bad thing?
I think it might be a bad thing. I think that means we're running all over the place, maybe chasing balls rather than maybe holding back, keeping the ball when we have it, possessing. And I think if you look at the games, we really didn't have too much possessions, minus the Portugal game. When we were playing Ghana, we were playing Belgium, we were chasing everything. As soon as we got the ball, we'd give it right back, and we're chasing again. So I don't think that's a great stat to be leading the world in, but I think it also shows the desire and the U.S. mentality. I think that kind of sums up how Americans are and how we play soccer. We play hard. We run, we work hard, and we're honest.
There's a John Wooden quote, clearly used for basketballs: be quick, but don't hurry. And it seems that can really translate to a lot of sports, is that you want to make quick movements, make crisp passes. That translates so much in soccer. You can't hurry. You see some guys when they get the ball and they just look like they're having a heart attack. The feet are moving way too quick, and they're just trying to rush everything. But there's a difference when you see the center midfielder getting the ball, controlling it, moving it just nice and quick, crisp and solid. And you see that, and that's one of the traits that I think a lot of what we should start looking for as fans is when you see these players be calm, cool, and collected under pressure and be able to make that right decision. Because you don't know, being in that situation, your brain is going 1,000 miles an hour. And I think the good players, what separates the good from the great is the guys that can kind of slow things down and start almost thinking less, but thinking correctly. I think I read something today about Neymar, where Neymar uses like 10% or 10% less of his brain than any traditional or average player, which leads people to believe that he's on autopilot while he's out there. And that's kind of the mentality that you need to have as a player. You don't want your brain to be thinking 1,000 things at once. You need to focus on one thing, hone in on it, whether it's going to be a pass or a shot or how are you going to defend. You don't want to be thinking about the overlap. You don't want to be thinking about the defender that's creeping in and trying to double team you.
which is really interesting. When I thought it really kind of resonated with me is where you need to be on autopilot. And I think you see a lot of great players in any sport. They just look like they're coasting when they're at their best. They don't look like they're exerting a ton of effort. Michael Jordan was, I think, a good example of that. You see him when he's playing. Neymar's another great example because the skill level that he has, and he's one of those guys that looks like he's never panicked.
Well, they always make it look very easy.
Exactly.
And that's the one thing. And when we talk about different players, and I'm really excited to see what Tommy Thompson can do again, because here's a guy technically very good. He's hungry. He goes over just to any ball he could possibly get to. He's going full charge. Interesting to see how he can kind of develop over the next few years, see how he learns the game and learns when to sprint and not sprint. Well, we're telling you what, we're getting ready for this match here. We're about 2 minutes away from kickoff, and we'll step aside for the national anthem. Here's Lorraine De Arco with the national anthem. We'll go down to the field.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the and the home of the brave.
It's the second annual Sacramento Soccer Day, and West Brom is in town taking on the Republic. Rob McAllister, Kevin Goldthwait with you. Triple digits here today in the capital city, and they've delayed this start just by a few more minutes to let things cool down even further. Trying to get more shade, I'm believing, here on the field. We have a couple of tree lines here at Cal Expo. Bonney Field looking like pretty good shape so far. This field's starting to work in just a tad here. A great deal of excitement. It was just a year ago that there was an announcement that Sacramento Republic would be coming to this town and they would be playing professional soccer. And here we are already. It was Norwich City and Dorados de Sonora from Mexico that put those two teams, an EPL squad at the time, Norwich City, and those bright green and yellow uniforms. Hard to believe, Kevin, that was a year ago, and here we are today. The excitement again, Sacramento really seems to be embracing the world's game.
Yeah, I mean, last year's Sac Soccer Day almost feels like an eternity ago, but here we are right now, halfway through the season of the inaugural year, and so far so good. I mean, the city has absolutely embraced the team, continue to support it. And, you know, the big thing is how are we going to finish? I think if Republic finishes strong this year, just only going to steamroll and snowball into more support through the years to come, and hopefully once we do get that MLS team.
Our referee is Michael Zapata, the assistant Andrew Hanks and Victor Rivas. Tonight here in a beautiful evening in the capital city, and can't ask for much more of this on a Friday night. An 8,000 crowd sellout. Only 2 times this season has Sacramento not sold out the entire stadium, even at Hughes. It was some pretty big crowds, 20,000 plus. They've been packing them in here, and it's been a great time. The Tower Bridge Battalion, they're ready to go. West Brom is getting ready. So are the Republic, and we'll run down the lineup for you one more time. Ben Foster back from the World Cup and as goalkeeper for West Brom. He's along with Andre Wisdom, Jonas Olsen, Craig Dostin, and Sebastian Pocagnoli. In the midfield, Chris Baird, Claudio Jakob, and Josef Malumbu. And the front three, new lineup for West Brom, Graham Dorrance, Victor Anichebe, and Sado Perino. Meanwhile, for the Republic, the other side, Dominic Jakovic And he has played a very key role for the Republic so far this season. In for Jake Gleason, Stephen Evans, Chad Bond, Harrison Delbridge, Peter Gilbert, the trialist in there, and Tommy Thompson from Granite Bay High School, JJ Koval on loan, and Gilberto, Max Alvarez in the midfield, Tommy Stewart, and Chad Bartlome as we go down to the field here for the coin toss. And looks like we're good to go, and looking for the official word of where we go with what, but it would be West Brom who kick things off, and it'll be Sacramento who will defend the south end of the field. And this is how we started on Monday night, a 1-0 victory for West Brom in the 12th minute. Victor Nicheby was fouled in the box by Nemanja Vukovic, and the Baggies midfielder Graham Dorn stepped up, put it down on the spot, and into the penalty, put it through the mouth of the goal. Jake Gleason went right, the ball went left, and that's how that victory went for the boys from the United Kingdom. They're on an 11-day training tour. They've been in the heat, been at Cosumnes River, and they had played a pretty big match, and now they want to see where they stand because their season starts in less than a month from now in mid-August against Sunderland. So they really going to be in full form here tonight. One more time, Kevin, you said, how can this group respond tonight? How can they step up, come together? First 10 minutes, what are you looking for?
Well, you know, the big thing is, you know, with these guys playing each other twice now in 1 week, both teams know what each team has and what sort of formation, what sort of style of play we're talking about. West Brom might be coming out with a 4-4-3, or excuse me, a 4-3-3 tonight. So it'll be interesting to see if the Republic can kind of pick up on that and how we deal with it. But no excuses now. Both teams know exactly what the other sides are going to be doing and what sort of quality and what sort of style of play. So they should know. But we got a new group here for the Republic coming in, and a very similar group coming out for West Brom. So we'll see how it unfolds here in the first 15 minutes.
Perino flicking around. Wisdom just gives it right back up to Chad Bartlome from Grass Valley, California, about an hour north of here. And so Wisdom, who just came up here on loan, and he's on loan from Liverpool, English national. And interesting how he stepped up. I know they're excited to see how he will work out. So a couple of big additions for West Brom just within the last couple of weeks or so.
Yeah, you know, Glenn Johnson over at Liverpool holding down that right back spot. So it gives Wisdom the opportunity to come in, get some minutes with the first team in the EPL here right now.
Here's the corner kick. Cross is high. The header looking for Delbridge. Watch it sails away, and it will be Tommy Thompson, but can't get it before it falls off the touchline. But looking for a pretty good ball. First time tonight, Chad Bond, who was able to send it over the middle. Sacramento on the set pieces, I think they've got to do a little bit better than they did on Monday night.
Yeah, and you're missing Roro out there, who's usually the guy on top of most of those set pieces. And it's Chad Bond, if he's going to be taking most of these tonight, he's got to drive those corner kicks in rather than loft it. Those lofted ones, you got a goalkeeper like Ben Foster in there. He should be gobbling a lot of those things up, even though he's not the biggest body goalkeeper, but he should have the skill and agility to kind of get through the traffic and snare it down.
Off the chest of Bartlome, finds Alvarez.
And I think, you know, Rob, I think West Brom's got a point to prove. And I think they're going to come out flying, but we got to make sure that the first 10 minutes, you mentioned what's important for the first 10 minutes. The first 10 minutes for me is don't concede. Come out 0-0 in the first 10 minutes, and hopefully things will settle down and the field will open up a little bit.
A warm evening here in the capital city, but neither team going to use that excuse tonight. You see how it plays into substitutions, though. And there's Gilbert for the first touch tonight. And some of the fans have taken their time there on the east end, as it is quite hot still in the sun, so they'll check things out. Here is Olsen, stands 6'4", nearly 6'5". You can't miss his size out there. But that's one thing West Brom has been so able to do, I should say, is really impose that physicality on the Republic and really wear down that back four for Sacramento. Let's see how they come out tonight. They've been a little bit more patient, really attacked early on, and now they're on the break. Stalling, just about 20 yards outside the box. Here comes a shot on goal toward the middle. Djokovic lets it sail through. A good decision by Dominic.
Yeah, great ball played out. I think Dorn's played it out to the overlapping and Pocagnoli. Pocagnoli puts a good ball in the ground, looking for an Ichibi. A little bit too far in front of him, but a good effort trying to get big. and Ichibi was to get a foot on it as it sails across the face of the goal for a goal kick here. But good movement forward by West Brom.
And putting 3 up, how does that alter what Sacramento's going to do? As you see Dominic take his time, sending it back into play.
Now you got to, if you got those 3 guys up top, you really got to make sure your your holding midfielders being active, you know, side to side, left to right, tracking and being kind of the leader in there with communication, letting guys know if there's some laggers or some guys kind of creeping out wide. But I think it kind of comes on the shoulders of that holding midfielder.
Here's Harrison Delbridge. Sacramento seems a little bit out of sorts to start, and they're trying to figure things out. Gilberto, fancy footwork, finds Tommy Thompson. Tommy Thompson trying to angle his way toward the net, makes a nice move toward the middle and in and around Dawson, but not able to pick it back up. Ben Foster was able to scoop it into his arms and quickly get it going the other way here for West Brom, tracking down the right side. Here comes Barrino. Barrino being stopped out by Delbridge, cross over the middle. And Dominic Jakubek's going to chase it all the way down to the corner, try to clear things out.
Yeah, the runs weren't there yet. It was a good run, good overlapping run. Barrino goes in.
Nice outlet from Jakubek as well. Just kept it right on the touchline, found Bartlome. And here's J.J. Koval. And from San Jose on a one-day loan, Kevin. That doesn't happen very often.
Tell you what, he's got some good touches, good first touches to get himself involved in the game here. Love seeing that from a guy that's not necessarily been a part of the squad all year. Going and getting the ball as kind of that center midfield. Looks like he's going to be the one that's going to be playing right in front of the back 4 with Gilberto given kind of free reins to be the attacking presence. But Koval needs to make sure that he's the one holding down the fort in front of that back 4, almost as a 5th defender right in front of that back 4. So far, he looks pretty good, comfortable in there, which is nice to see.
And early on, we see West Brom again, really being quick. They're not trying to hurry when they don't have to, but that quickness can be deadly. They're trying to look for 3 or 4 passes out, and they were so good at doing that, getting that penalty in the box, really key for them, because the quickness really pushed Vukovic into a bad situation.
Yeah, and that's just simply an Ichibi being a lot stronger than everybody else out there. But you know what? We talked about it last week in the last broadcast, is that when you got a big guy like an Ichibi, his size and strength, you're not going to match that. You're not going to beat it. Good ball in.
Here's Gilbert off the chest into Foster.
That's smart by Pocagnoli there. Taking it off his chest, back to Ben Foster, allows Foster to pick it up. If Pocagnoli takes that down with his foot, he's going to be in a lot of trouble with facing his own goal. So smart move by Pocagnoli there.
Still by Gilberto. Finding Thompson. Thompson loses it. He was trying to find Bartlome. But here's Thompson again. He's so quick, so agile. He's very aggressive. Interesting to see how he settles down. We discussed a little bit in the pregame show just about him and how he has to learn the next few years. I mean, he's just 18 years old, Kevin.
Yeah, and you know, we were talking about earlier in the broadcast about, you know, America's identity in the world. And the one thing that we do is we work hard, we're blue collar. But Tommy could be a guy of the future that he's got that hard work, that blue collar, but with the white collar skill of being able to find good outlets, good balls, being a good playmaker in the middle of the field, and a player that can do both, can really work his tail off defensively. And he's one of those guys, when we talked to Preki about him, Preki needs to kind of like grab him by the reins, he said, and make sure he's always the one that wants to make that run forward. But we got to make sure Preki wants to make sure he's making the correct runs. So it's just kind of like bringing in the reins and showing him film, having him study that stuff to see when the right time is to go forward, when the right time is to make that 40-yard run or 30-yard run. And that's the big thing for I think what Tommy Thompson can do in the next 2 or 3 years to really hone his game, is pick those moments when to work hard and pick those moments when to streak forward.
Gilbert blowing a whistle for the call off the chest. Nicely done by Anichebe. Now here's on the run. Poked it through. Harrison Delbridge might have saved a big shot on goal. No whistle blown. Here we go back again. Working that right side. Screening off Tommy Thompson. Right in the wing is now Wisdom. Into the middle, Gilberto. Very crafty inside. Working things around Koval. Sacramento's got to push this thing the other way.
Yeah, I like Koval's presence on the ball so far.
And West Brom may have just given one away. They had an easy throw and it just ended away. So the head coaches we heard talk about Coach Preki, two-time MLS MVP. And he was coach for Chivas USA as well, and in Toronto for the MLS before coming here to Sacramento. Alan Irvine just took over from Glasgow June 14th as he became the head coach. Hadn't coached in 3 years, but here he is and trying to make a difference because they finished 17th in the EPL last year. West Brom really has a lot of work to do as they look up and try to make a stance, because they don't want to be flirting around that bottom 3. That'll get you in trouble, and that'll sit you down to the league you don't want to be in. So especially the second tier, West Brom has struggled the last about 15 years or so. They really want to get a hold and work their way up. It's the haves and haves not. They want to be one of the haves.
Yeah, and you know, I think a lot of credit's due to West Brom being in that relegation fight the last third of the season or last month of the season. That cannot be very much fun, and that's got to be a lot of pressure on these players. And credit to them for coming out on the better end of it, staying up in the Prem, staying up for another season, regroup this year, have a couple of new signings, get a new manager in. But, you know, credit to the players that were on the squad last year for staying up after that tough battle. There's probably like 6 or 7, maybe even 8 teams that were, you know, kind of fighting for that relegation zone to stay up. So credit to them once again for staying up, and here we are this year. Clean slate.
Gilberto's speed, standing it up for Tommy Thompson. Ben Foster comes out of the box and able to pick things up. You see here the name Ben Foster, and this is a guy you've probably heard in the World Cup as well. And he was with the English men's national team, able to hold Costa Rica to a shutout. Now, England did not play well in the Cup at all. They're very disappointing. Ended up 4th place in their pool. Lost 2, drew for another, and you know, but a great chance for him. I mean, he's a big-time goalkeeper. Got a chance to play. Here he is in the fluorescent blue uniform tonight for West Brom, who's in their royal blue and white uniforms and the maple and red. But you know, Kevin, a men's national team player here from England, World Cup experience. That's not something we typically see here in Sacramento.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of those positions that when you have a solid, reliable goalkeeper behind you, it allows you so much more comfort and ability to kind of take that idea out of your mind of your goalkeeper behind you, knowing you have a solid keeper. So, you know, Ben Foster, it's a coup for West Brom to keep him with the club for the next 4 years. And a great signing, and one of those goalkeepers, one of those positions that's so hard to find a reliable player, and they have that with Ben Foster. Great ball there by Delbridge.
Off the heel, volleying it right back to Alvarez in the middle of the park.
That's a nice one-touch soccer there.
Here's Sacramento. They're putting the attack on. Tommy Stewart. Here's Gilbert, pausing, looking for some space. Here's Alvarez, a little tap, headed, ticking chance, won't fall. Gilbert with a great ball, just couldn't find it. Good look. Foster played it well, did not jump too early, and put a hand on it.
Gilbert puts a nice little ball in there to Alvarez. Alvarez makes that kind of like nifty little near post run. And you know, when I saw Gilbert serve that initially, I was thinking, where is he playing that? But put right on Alvarez's foot. Alvarez does a good job of putting that thing on target, and Foster comes up to the table and makes a great save.
And Tommy Stewart just laces one from about 30-something yards out.
Now it takes a little deflection.
There's a little tap in. One hopper off the box.
That's a
right hand by Foster.
That's a tough ball to hit by Alvarez. It's coming across your body, and he puts his laces through the ball. Good effort to get that thing on target. I think that's a lot more difficult than Alvarez really made it look. But you know what? That's why a goalkeeper like Foster is signing 4-year deals, is because he's making saves like that.
Corner headed by Stewart. Thompson, Gilberto. Gilberto winds up. Cross into the middle, headed Delbridge, high over the crossbar. Won't play, but Sacramento getting some very good looks, Kevin, and the crowd's starting to enjoy it as well. Those are 2 very good shots on goal.
Yeah, two good plays there, working the ball forward, side to side. Gilberto plays a good ball in. I think Delbridge might have mistimed his jump a little bit there. You'd like to see him get up there and just try to drive that ball right down to the ground. But once again, just off by a hair there. And Delbridge, like to see him getting up, doing some positive attacking movements on set pieces like that. So that's good to see.
Ben Foster started off with Stoke City, was also played Man U in 2005. So he's definitely a big-time resume. You're not going to trick him very easily. Great header to come back and check the ball. Here's a shot on goal, into the net, West Brom.
That's how quick.
And do we have an offside?
No, he's on.
No, it's going to be onside. So it falls into the net. Big time stroke by West Brom, and Dominic Jakubek not even able to react to it. And an easy, in the 12th, or the 13th minute, excuse me, it's 1-0 West Brom.
Yeah, and that's how quickly this happens. You're moving forward. There's a strike by Barreño. Slots it down in the lower right corner. Jakubek's got no chance. Great finish by Barreño, but I tell you what, you need to track these guys. You got 2 guys on Anichebe going up. Anichebe wins the header, knocks it right down to Barreño, and he slots it. You got to stay with your guys. don't give him the opportunity when that ball does fall to him to have a free shot on goal like that. So once again, down in the hole like we were similarly on Monday night, trying to climb out of it. Let's see if we can continue playing and playing well as we move forward here.
Monday night was in the 12th minute. That was in the 13th minute. Barrino this evening, Dorans on Monday.
And I think, Rob, that's the quality that we're playing against here. Is these guys get a sniff at goal, they're going to take it. We got to make sure, I think that's the killer instinct that some great strikers have. We have Alvarez with a chance on goal here. Love to see him maybe just slam that thing home. Does a good job to get the thing on frame. But you got to take your chances when they're given. You're not going to be given too many during the course of a game. And Barrino does a great job of taking that chance.
And you'll see Anichebe played off the chest quite often. Here's Barrino on the right side, looking for a teammate. Wisdom, sliding tackle, sends it away as Gilbert. And
yeah, and if there's any MLS fans out there, there's a player in the MLS. His name's Bright DK. He actually went to Notre Dame as well. Similar body type as Anichebe, and he's Nigerian as well, and just a similar type player, and played with him in Portland actually. And those guys are just so hard to deal with their strength. And playing against Bright day in and day out really makes you appreciate that size, and you learn how to play against those guys is you just don't match that size for size. You try to go in, be a little bit smarter than him, nick a ball off his foot if you can.
And that's the 18th goal allowed by Dominic Jacobek this season in USL Pro and friendlies. And seeing his goal against average spike up a little bit. He's had the tough test. I mean, he's been in the box during some of these big-time friendlies. He played the last 45 against West Brom, played all 90 against the Rangers from Scotland. So he has had some tough training. Played Atlas, gave up 2 goals there. I mean, not specifically just Dominic, but it goes against his average. And
yeah, it's a challenge. And you know what? I think Dominic's performed admirably when he's been called upon. You know, with Jake Gleason having a few injuries here and there with his groin and hamstring. When Jacobek's been called upon, I think he's done a great job. Unfortunate not to get a couple W's in the games that he's been in, but you know, that's the way things go. And hopefully your back four is, you know, really protecting you as much as they can for the rest of the game here.
He's 6-7-1 with 3 shutouts.
Yeah, I don't think his record really. That's Bond.
Here's it on the attack. West Brom, a big strike outside the box. Delbridge able to track it down. Here's Barrino, and offside the middle of the field. And it appears that it's going to be Barrino. But Anichebe, again, just turning and scoring.
Yeah.
It looks like they're not afraid to really shoot from outside the box.
Well, you know, the thing is Bond goes and tries to muscle up Anichebe again, but Anichebe's got his back to the goal. Anichebe simply spins off that, takes the ball through, and he's essentially on goal there with a shot. So you got to make sure that you're tight to him, but your goal in that situation as a center back is make him play the way he's facing.
Here's over the top, trying to track is Alvarez. Picks it up is Foster.
A good run by Alvarez there. But you got to make sure that the goal in that situation isn't to win the ball. Just make him play backwards. Make him play the way he's facing, and your job's done, and you're back in. Don't try to go in and win the ball. Don't try to do too much. And I think center backs often get caught trying to do too much, and that was a prime example of trying to do too much in that situation.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in to the broadcast here this evening, especially all the way across the United Kingdom, where I know it's about 4:15 or so in the morning. So clearly a tough go if you're a big West Brom fan to try to watch this game here in California tonight, where it's just past 8 o'clock, sun about to set. But we do appreciate you tuning in, and you can catch every Republic game here on this live stream. YouTube in 2014 also includes DVR and chat and other interactivity. All you have to do is go to Sacramento Public FC YouTube channel. Also can be found on the main website as well. Alongside Kevin Goldthwait, I'm Rob McAllister tonight, and we're in the 18th minute. West Brom with a big goal, able to find the net early on, and looks like we may have a Republic player down, and they'll continue to push Tommy Thompson, and now the whistle blows.
Yeah, Bond's motioning. He's got his shoe off already. He's motioning for the training staff to come on. Looks like he did something with Anichebe there, maybe a toe or a foot, and Anichebe's holding his. Looks like he might be ill. Maybe there's a dislocated toe or something like that. That's not looking right.
And we will not show that to you here on our cameras. And so the 26-year-old Chad Bond played for the national team from under 15 all the way up to under 23 from Wales, as we said. And here's a guy who's trying to just get some better minutes here. Played with Port Talbot Town, and you know, he scored only 1 goal a couple of matches a season ago, but now they're pulling out the doctor and training staff as well, and he appears to be a little bit of pain. I don't think he's even going to look at it, but this will give us a little bit of stoppage in play as they work on Chad Bond there, and you hope that he's okay as they try to maybe look at his shin there. It may not be good, and you know, you've been kicked in the shin quite a few times. You ever feel like you probably did something worse than what even was your feeling at the time?
Well, you know what this was interesting with Chad, how he went down. He went down pretty casually, and I think he glanced at his foot a little bit, and his shoe immediately came off. And then 5 seconds after that, he's motioning for the training staff to come on. And I think when that situation happens, you know it's a fairly serious injury. As typically you see some guys rolling around for a little bit, sometimes for the wrong reasons. But here we go. I mean, Chad definitely goes down, and I think once again it's the challenge with an Ichibi. And I think it goes to show that he's a big dude. And maybe he might have just stood on his foot, on Chad Bond's foot a little bit. Unfortunate, but it looks somewhat serious as it looks like they're going to get a substitution coming in here pretty quickly for Bond.
There's about a 40-pound difference between the two players, and that just gives you a little bit of a special, and you can it is definitely he is hurting there a little bit, and it may just be a really bad sprained ankle at this point in time, and they're going to keep it covered and hobble him off the field. And so Chad Bond, hopefully he's okay. Sacramento will have to pull out a substitution here. He does not appear that he will be making his way back to the field here. And sometimes the worst injuries really aren't the ones that you hurt as bad. Right? I mean, usually the bruises are almost one that hurt right away.
Yeah.
And you just hope that Chad's okay.
The scary ones are those non-contact injuries where no one's necessarily around the player, takes a back cut. Yeah, get this guy a stretcher, man.
Yeah, to help him out. And here comes Jake Gleason to give a hand as well as they keep a towel over that right foot of Chad Bond, and he appears to be toughing it out just enough. But it'll be Jack Avasian who will check in for Chad Bond, and so that is our substitution here as we continue to watch the clock. But we'll see quite a bit of time put on at the end of this first half here as West Brom, who scored in the 13th minute, they lead by a goal here. Sacramento trailing again.
Yeah, so we got Bond coming off. Looks like Gilbert's going to slide into that center half role. And Jack's going to come in at left back. Like seeing Jack come out here. He can use his pace, get up and down the flank, and maybe allow Tommy Thompson to kind of tuck in a little bit in the midfield. So, you know, unfortunate for Bond to be coming out here in the first 20 minutes, but like seeing Jack Avasian come in on that left flank.
Just tough to see that, and the crowd goes pretty quiet here at Bonney Field as they work on Chad Bond, and he's trying to stay in this one. He's getting pretty good minutes tonight. Had a tough assignment.
Yeah, Tommy Stewart almost nicks the ball off of Olsen there.
Here comes Jack Avasian, so he is in from Los Angeles, California. And he gets beat on the right swing there by Barrino. Barrino is inside the box, cross over the middle. Looking to take him down, and no whistle blown. Harrison Delbridge very lucky. Delbridge will take it out of the box. It'll be Avasian, excuse me, and Avasian gives it right away. So a pace to this match. Jack Avasian has to jump right in and really try to make an impact, and he's been tested already. Had to catch up along the right side with Barrino, and now he's able to give one away. He's probably got to find a little bit of rhythm.
Right. Tough task to be called upon in the 20th minute. I'm sure he wasn't necessarily warming up. So this is essentially his warm-up right now, but he's got to do better to keeping the ball and making sure Baird's staying in front of him rather than trying to press too hard there.
Forward header.
But, you know, that looked like a pretty tough challenge in the box, and Ichibi goes down. Up here, honestly, probably looked like it should have been a penalty. Luckily for the Republic, got bailed out as the referee let the play go.
And the size difference, Barrino and Avasian, is you go looking at really Barrino at 5'11", there's about 6 foot. He has Avasian about 5'5", 5'6", and so not only size but weight. I mean, it could be quite a tough task here, and especially if you weren't expecting it. And here he is trying to step up and keep the Republican as they trail by a goal.
Yeah, that's something, though, that Jack deals with every single game is his size. And it's something that's not new to him. He does a great job making up for it with his pace. He's a pest to go up against one-on-one if he's defending you. I thought he's played really well the last few weeks, and I'm excited to see him actually come out here tonight because I love seeing him run up and down the flanks on the left side. Good job by Tommy there, looking over his shoulder when he gets that ball before it gets to him. That's one of those little things that you see that coaches love.
Nice pass by Gilberto. Evasian trying to angle toward the net. Maybe try to pick up a corner here. And nicely done. Is just keeping it up was wisdom. He did not allow it to get on the end line.
Yeah, good battle there. Jack takes his touch, makes his move, tries to beat Wisdom. Wisdom's up to the task, keeps the ball, ends up dribbling it out, kicking it off Evasian for a throw. And so good play by both guys. Once again, like seeing Jack getting up and down the left flank, though.
And so Gilberto, originally from Brazil, spent the first part at top tier in Sao Paulo, 16 matches, 1 goal, but he was transferred to the Philadelphia Union last season and got a chance now here. Didn't get much playing time in the brotherly love, the city of brotherly love, I should say. And so here he is, Sacramento, and maybe came into the camp a little bit out of shape, but he's worked himself in here, and he's made a lot of great plays. Very exciting player to watch.
Yeah, you know, soccer's a funny game, and you got guys coming in from different countries, from different clubs. You know, they could be the best player from that club coming into your club, and for whatever reason, it's tough sometimes to come in and mesh with the guys that you're playing with. So, you know, it's one of those sciences. We talked about it earlier in the broadcast. That comes down to the technical director and the coach to try to find that player that fits in as nicely or as best as possible. And it's not necessarily, doesn't translate just by scoring goals.
Sacramento pushing the other way, trying to get into the attack. Koval works it over, and a little bit of a timing issue, neither on the same page. And he'll push him all the way back in the corner. Alvarez will come working. West Brom has really controlled this. Sacramento had 2 good looks on goal, weren't able to find the net. West Brom did the 13th minute. And another misplay, and it seems Sacramento almost off page a little bit. They really seem to be playing well. The 11 here working in unison, and it seems to have fallen apart a little bit, Kev.
Yeah, you know, maybe just a bad spell in the game here. You know, one thing that I am noticing, looks like Anichibi is playing up top, and it looks like the center backs for West Brom and the holding midfielder Jakob are trying to clip balls in the air into Anichibi, and having the outside midfielders or the guys playing up top, which is Barino and Dorans, run off of Anichibi for that flick on or that touchdown. So it's going to be interesting to see how Delbridge and now Gilbert can deal with Anichibi in the air. And that's going to be the challenge. So it'll be fun to watch here for the next 20, 30 minutes to see how those balls into the air to Anichibi are dealt with. So
Tommy Stewart able to pick up a foul, and now a set piece for Sacramento. It likely will be Alvarez.
Yeah, tough spot in the field here for a lefty.
Sacramento breaks into the box, headed away by Olsen.
Great ball in. Great ball in. If Olsen doesn't get that, it looks like maybe Bartlemey's on the end of it. And Olsen's heading that back towards his own goal, concedes a corner kick. So that's a great ball in by Alvarez. It's so nice having Alvarez and a guy like Roro, a right-footed guy and a left-footed guy, that both serve great balls in on set pieces. So here's a nice little opportunity for a corner kick.
And you've seen Olsen paired right against Bartlemey. The height of both over 6'3", whistle blows, and the things start going up, but you really see West Brom not really playing just space. They really are picking up man-to-man here in this corner.
Yeah, man-to-man, typically how things are done nowadays.
Olsen keeping his eye on Bartlemey. This one is low, tapped in. Backed up, Evans has a shot and kicked away.
Malumbu off the line.
Malumbu was sitting in the box.
I tell you what,
he saved a goal for West Brom because that was headed right into that right corner.
Yeah, Malumbu really.
And Tommy Thompson takes a forearm to the head from Barino, and Barino is called for the foul, and Tommy Thompson gets right back up, and now Sacramento with a chance from straight on.
Yeah, Malumbu doing his job, hanging in there on the near post. And there's the foul right there as Tommy Thompson goes down. So another opportunity for a set piece. I'm thinking Alvarez is going to have a go here on target. But good job by Malumbu for staying on there, being tuned in. Typically, you might see that as the ball's bounced around, those guys might take a few steps off the post, but Malumbu stays solid, stays in his position, clears the ball off the line.
Shot off the hop. Foster picks it up.
Yeah, good effort by Alvarez, looking like he's maybe trying to hit a little bit of a knuckleball there. And I tell you what, that's not easy to deal with for Foster with that thing bouncing in front of him. Who knows if it's going to take a bad hop.
Got over the wall, which was important there, is that Sacramento seems to be playing a lot better on their set pieces tonight. They struggled on Monday. Really, their best chances came on action, and now West Brom, who has scored, is trying to gain the possession a little bit back.
Good ball
right
by
side,
Jakob.
Barrino. Barrino from the edge of the box, crosses over the middle, and flubs the shot. Defensively, Sacramento trying to suck back in, pick it up, and now on the run, here they come. Looking for the counter. That has been key for Sacramento with the size and strength. Tommy Thompson now directed Bartlome, tries to skirt it through two baggies, not able to do it, and gives it up, and now he's fighting right back forward. And there's that energy from Tommy Thompson.
Yeah, the final passes lately for him really hasn't been there. Needs to maybe make a little bit quicker decision, play the ball or keep it. And it looks like he's trying to force it just a little bit. So I'd like to see him be a little bit more patient here moving forward.
Trying to win the ball, Evasian. And Evasian will let it
Good job.
fly to play.
Jack battles in the air. I love seeing him play.
It'll be a goal kick here for Jakubek. Clears it right out to Evasian. But this is where West Brom was attacking Gleason in the first 45 on Monday night. And here it is. Right side, Barrino. Slide tackled toward the middle. Shot on goal, into the net.
Silly giveaway. Simple as that. That's just a poor giveaway by Evasian. A little bit too casual on the ball, coming out of the back, trying to be cute, playing someone a little, maybe almost a hospital ball through the middle there. And once again, you're playing against a club. Here's the replay as he slots it with his left foot, just tucks it in the upper corner. Jakubek's got no chance on that thing. Immediately looks at Jack saying, what are you doing? Clear the ball out.
And it appeared that was Malumbu. So
you talk about these EPL squads, I mean, they just show their quality right there. Absolutely just punishing us on that giveaway. And, you know, I don't know how many shots, maybe 3 or 4 shots, but they got 2 goals already. So they're definitely capitalizing on their chances.
it is 2-0 now as Sacramento feeling the pressure from West Brom. EPL team who has spent their training camp in this sunny state of California in the middle of the summer, a warm evening, but it doesn't appear to be impacting the Baggies whatsoever. They have taken control of this match. Sacramento has had a couple of good looks on goal, not able to capitalize, and that separates really the good teams and the ones who are trying to get to that higher level. And you can see the difference in play between the two.
Yeah, it looks like Jack might be a little shell-shocked right now. You know, whenever I get in that situation, I had a poor giveaway, really need to make sure that your next few passes, just make them simple, get yourself back into the game, play some square balls across the back, whatever it is, simple balls, but work yourself back in the game and don't force things. You want to see Bartlome needs a turn there. He's got to have communication from his guys or he needs to be looking over his shoulder. And here comes Anichibi.
On the left side, Jakubek out and slaps it down, saves it from finding the net, but now Jakubek colliding.
That looks like him and Delbridge got tangled up there, maybe in need of the back.
So those two able to go down, get back up, and Jakubek having a rough night so far. Seeing 2 goals find the net, and he's just, you know, feeling a little bit out of sorts. It seems that that back line, ever since Chad Bond went out of the match, it really seems that things have altered and really swung into the direction for West Brom.
Yeah, you know, their body language right now for the Republic is just, they're kind of look tired and not necessarily being proactive with things, so they need to turn things around here.
High cross, headed into the net, middle way, in the box, I should say. Did not find it. Jakubek nearly saw another one find his way. Great possession by West Brom.
Yeah, two West Brom players on the back post, unmarked, going in there. It might have been Jakob going up for the header, put it in the back across the face of the goal. But that cannot happen. In the box, 2 unmarked players getting their head on the ball or having a chance to get their head on the ball there. Republic needs to kind of, you know, pull themselves up by the bootstraps and make sure that they're being solid defensively here.
Here's West Brom. They have been very calculated here in this first 33 minutes. Winds up, takes a shot on goal. Saved by Jakubek. Dorans with a good look from 26 yards out.
Rob, we got 15 minutes to go in this half, and right now at this pace, it's West Brom's going to score 3 or 4 more goals unless something changes with Republic. Preki needs to get up and start shouting at his guys. Here comes the replay.
You're right, the energy just doesn't see there, and just got a palm on it was Dominic Jakubek from Lodi, California.
Yeah, good strike by Dorans there, good save by Jakubek.
But here's a corner kick. West Brom has had their way, will be Dorans. Dorans with a slight tap. Right back, here comes the left foot. Nope, doesn't power up, changes it up. Now he's crossing, step over right, working the end line. Jakubek bats it down. Now it's sent away, but still in trouble for the Republic. Gilberto trying to clear it, finds Tommy Thompson.
Yeah, good play by Gilberto there. Little clever dink. Another giveaway here.
It's been very easy for West Brom here in their own attacking third. Dorans in the middle, finds a Nicheby. Marking is Delbridge.
Yeah, the Republic just looks sluggish.
They look about a step or two slow right now.
Yeah, it looks like they're almost feeling sorry for themselves a little bit for conceding that second goal, but you got to forget about it, move on.
This might be the first time all season they've been down 2-0 at home. I can't remember a match where they were at this point, Kevin, especially in the first half.
Right.
Gilberto trying to get something going. Right now, I think Sacramento needs a spark. They need someone to probably take control a little bit. You know, you have the captains who typically in the first 11 might be Rodrigo, someone to that effect. But here, it probably should be maybe a Max Alvarez, maybe even a Chad Bartlome. Someone's got to set the tone.
Yeah, you need Gilberto stepping up, being the one that takes initiative here.
Winds up, cross over the middle. Dorans was there, poked away. Here's a second chance. Sent high, and up going to get it is Jakubek.
Jakubek's coming out, flailing his fists, not necessarily getting a good piece on the ball. It's happened twice now, and a poor giveaway here, poor distribution.
Looking for Bartlome, who's still fighting for it, and brought down. It'll go toward West Brom. Chad Bartlome grew up, went to Nevada Union High School here in Northern California, and debuted for the Republic against the Galaxy on April 13th, and he's now playing in his 17th contest. West Brom again on the attack. It's been too easy to get down the field. Run on the right side, here's Barrino. Into that short corner, working it into the 6, and high just over the bar. An easy chance for a goal there, and it just luckily went over the crossbar and not in any danger for Dominic Jakubek, but that could have easily been 3-0, Kevin.
No, yeah, and something needs to change here. Honestly, they're going to score 3 or 4 goals here pretty quickly. Jack, once again, gets beat way too easily, quits, and allows Barrino there with a shot, just misses target. And Jakubek knows that Jack's got to do better. He's come in and has been a bit of a liability out there at left back lately.
Working. You hear chatter from both clubs. They quite a bit of talking. One thing I've really liked from West Brom so far, when they've scored a goal, they haven't acted like this is the game winner in the EPL championship match. I mean, these are really guys are cool, calm, and collect a little bit about it. Now they're calling it offside. And now a substitution.
And they're taking Jack off right now. Tell you what, that's never a good feeling, Rob.
And Gabe Padilla will come in.
Jack's played 15 minutes.
For Jack Avasian.
Comes off. I mean, that's Preki pretty much telling him that's not acceptable. You know, I've seen a lot of games and played a lot of games, and I don't think I've seen that happen but one or two times. And Avasian knows that he just, you know, it's a night. You got to be prepared. Doesn't matter if you're starting or being a reserve. You got to come out there thinking you're going to play 90 minutes. And I don't think he did a great job tonight. I was excited to see him come in there and start running around. And I think it might have just been from the start he wasn't ready to play.
So it's Gabe Padilla, a trialist, who played a little bit against Atlas FC with the Republic, I should say. He's in. That's a second substitution for Sacramento tonight. Skirts it through. Onto the floor, here's Tommy Stewart. Working right, working left. Now he's back in the middle of the park. Shot on goal with a left foot. High. Again, that's been Sacramento's issue for the last couple of weeks now. They're sending a lot of balls high. I'd like to see a little bit more kept on the ground. Maybe try to see his goalkeepers work a little bit, move that feet.
Yeah, you know, it's good work there by Tommy Stewart, making a good run, taking a good first touch towards the target. Tries to go one-on-one, cuts it back to his left foot. Unfortunately, just blows it over the crossbar. But it's one of those things you got to test the goalkeeper in that situation. Make him make a save. Take something off of it that you have to, but make him make a save.
Ben Foster. That had to work very hard tonight. A couple of scares early. This easily could be 2-1, but instead, West Brom is just starting to toy with the Republic right now. They have been crisp, they have been stronger, and they have been tougher. And Tommy Thompson takes another blow to the head, and yet no whistle.
It's
off the chest of Bartlome.
Nicheby strength once again. there's probably almost an 80-pound weight difference between the two of those guys there.
And Anichebe is fast and powerful, grew up in the UK, won a silver medal 2008. Played at Everton as well. I mean, he's got a pretty good resume there. This guy scored some goals in over about a 7-year span, put in 26 into the net, scored 3 for West Brom last season. So this guy is going to be called on probably a lot more this year, Kevin, and see what he can do, see if that physicality will really work to West Brom's advantage, see if they could change up what they've been able to do, which is not a whole lot the last couple of seasons. They need to find a new recipe, and this might be it.
Yeah, we, West Brom losing Shane Long, he was the guy that was scoring goals for them last year, over the last few years, actually. So, with him moving on, West Brom needs to find a guy that's going to score some goals for him. Anichebe seems to be the guy that they're leaning on for some goals here this year. And he's a proven goal scorer, so it's up to him to see how well he can do this year, put some balls in the back of the net for him.
Gilberto at the midline, finding Tommy Stewart. Now Gilberto pushing. Tommy Stewart left, Bartlome in the middle, so is Alvarez. Into the box, cross. Nobody there, looked like he's coming out the right side. Evans sliding, falling down into the 6. It still is. Sacramento putting the pressure on. And nearly had it right back.
Good work there by Tommy Thompson getting over on the left flank.
Here's a little poke, a little chip over to Tommy Stewart. Foster comes out, played it perfectly.
Yeah, good work there by what I was saying about Tommy Thompson. Doing a good job getting himself going to goal. Tries to take on the defender one. Little dink over to the back post. Unfortunately, Evans wasn't there quite yet. Takes a touch, tries to drive it back across the face, and just well done by West Brom, well defended.
Whistle blows. Free kick here. So West Brom, they start August 16th for Sunderland. That's just 21 days away. Last time two matched up, it was a 2-0 defeat. And so they really want to make sure they start off your season right. And we know how important that is for a lot of these teams. As now they're already into the attack. And the hold by Delbridge not called. Trying to release a little bit, finally does. But here's West Brom continuing to attack. And they've got to get ready. They're trying to get in season mode. Meanwhile, Sacramento is on the back half of theirs. On the end line, working the trim. Sacramento, lucky break again. Here's Alvarez. He's paid himself a little bit of corner, and West Brom takes it away. Another steal deep into the own zone of Republic has plagued them all night long. Jacovetsi gave away one and found the net a pass or two later. And Sacramento has just not been able to clear it out of their back third. See the difference between West Brom and Sacramento. West Brom seems to be on point. Their passes more crisp, more calculated tonight. Sacramento seems to be always running uphill a little bit, almost like they're playing behind even when there was no score.
Yeah, and I think when you get in a situation like this where Republic's in right now, I think what Preki needs to start leaning on is challenging his players to make sure that every 50-50 battle they have, any one-on-one battle, he's got to get them in a point of their a mindset that they need to win that one-on-one battle. Doesn't matter where it is on the field, little handball there. But doesn't matter where it is on the field, they need to win their 50-50 battles and their one-on-one challenges. Otherwise, this game's like we were talking about a minute ago, it's just going to get out of hand and goals are going to come in and the floodgates will be open. So that's what I think I want to see the Republic do here for the next 5 minutes before the second half or the end of the first half, is win these one-on-one battles. Start winning, win the second balls as well.
It's Claudio Jakob, Argentina Premier League player. Now Sacramento working the other way. Shot on goal, far left post. Good look from Sacramento. That may be one of the best ones we've seen tonight. And I like Max Alvarez. We've seen him become more and more aggressive, especially here in these friendlies. And he's not able to get this one through, but he hasn't been afraid to just wind up and just get a good shot on it. Good ball, just knuckle a little bit to the left.
Yeah, it looks like it was a little bit wide, but that's what you want to see with a left-footed player on the right side. Have him come in towards the defense, cut back on his left foot, and try to just blast one far post. Hopefully you're going to have a little bit of curl, in-swinging curl on that ball, so it kind of can get tucked in the back post. But Alvarez does a good job putting the ball, setting up on his left foot, and strikes it pretty cleanly. Just a little bit slice on that thing for it to sail wide.
Delbridge won the header. Now he wins. A nice tackle here. So Delbridge 2 great plays in just a matter of 20 seconds. And I think that's the hustle you wanted to see, Kevin. As we talk about the 50-50 balls, give credit to West Brom for collecting that, setting it right there on a quick little counter. But Delbridge wasn't able to be going to win the hustle battle. He wins it there, and Sacramento would have been dangerous play.
Those are those one-on-one challenges, 50-50 challenges, one-on-one battles that we want to see these guys, the Republic, start winning. And hopefully that'll slowly turn the tide in this game. But it's funny watching Delbridge go down. I swear, I've never seen anybody go down with as much effort and force as Delbridge. It looks like he's given 110% every tackle that he has, which I love seeing.
With the win, Tommy Thompson, a little spin move, but Barrino comes all the way from the striker position to make the play defensively.
Yeah, too many touches there by Tommy Thompson. Needs to get off his foot a little quicker. Kind of dribbles himself into some trouble.
Dave Padilla in there along with Cole on loan. Here's Coble. Wearing number 2, Mike Vecito, who was on loan earlier this year. He was going to sporting the number 2. Here's Padilla. Goes down and gets a set chance for Sacramento here. They've looked pretty good on this. A little further out here, Kevin. What's the game plan?
Yeah, game plan. Well, you know, we'll see what happens here. It looks like it's going to be Alvarez on top of the ball, which I like to see. And it's going to be curling away from the goal here. So I'm thinking if I'm Republic, I want to have a good run to the near post and 2 good runs kind of following up on the far post. And Alvarez wants this thing to land on that penalty spot right there. But let's get some good runs in here. Be competitive in the box. Start pushing some guys.
Bartlome dancing. Alvarez shot, looking toward the center. Wins it, gets it back. Nice shot by Barrino. And here's a gamble that didn't work out well and needs to be on the run. Sacramento trying to track him down. He'll try to work his way to the middle. No teammate in stride. There's Dorans. They'll clear it back out. Here's Malumbu.
That's a great job by Anichebe there. Taking the ball 30, 40 yards, driving to goal, realizing that there's not much chance there. Brings it out, and they keep it. Keeping the ball, you're totally fine.
3 minutes of extra time added here. And that's largely due to the injury to Chad Bond, who was helped off the field about the 20th minute mark. And it's gone pretty sour. They were down 1-0 at that point in time, but it's gone a little rough. Here's Malumbu. Toward the middle, Dorans pausing. Dorans working right. Just clips one high.
Yeah, Dorans looks like he's trying to get over that thing, maybe put some topspin on it. But Gilberto needs to defend that better. He jumps up in the air as soon as Dorans kind of dekes with his left foot, allows Dorans to get back on his right foot, his more dominant foot. So, you know, maybe a little bit better defending there.
Visit the USL Pro fan page on Facebook at facebook.com/USL Pro. And what was a hot day in Sacramento has turned out to be an okay evening. No breeze tonight, so it'll stay warm through the weekend. I think West Brom will be happy to get back on that plane tomorrow from San Francisco and head back home because the temperatures are not going to get any cooler the next few days here. Sacramento, meanwhile, will play on Sunday. They've moved that time to 7 o'clock against Pittsburgh. As weather was a concern, you know, at 5:30, who wanted to sit out here in 104-degree temperatures? Padilla has to track it down. Another tough ball for Sacramento. And now Jacobek's going to have to make something out of it.
Delbridge kind of takes a pretty risky chance there with that ball across the field. Padilla did a good job of keeping the possession for Republic, and we give it right back away.
And I'll say this, we haven't really seen enough. Chad Bartlome, Tommy Stewart, and maybe Thompson or Alvarez working. It's really gone quiet for those 4. Yeah. Dorans, nice move, spun around. Great ball, working it in. Taps, hides, lands on top of the net. Dangerous ball.
You need to win those one-on-one battles. You got to take the ownership, take the initiative, make it your responsibility, and be better. Simply put, just be better. Be more difficult to play against.
Well, if anyone you think would be affected maybe by the heat or what's going on, it would have been West Brom, but it appears it's quite the opposite. I mean, you see a lot of Republic players hunched over, trying to catch their breath.
They've been chasing for the last 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So, I mean, that'll wear on you as the game goes. And West Brom, they're used to the heat, I think, at this point. It typically takes a couple days.
Corner, good ball into the middle. Jacobek has to come out, and Anichebe Boxed it out, but here's a check and chance by Berrino. Berrino pausing, looking for a teammate, gets it in. Tommy Thompson with a header, chesting it at Alvarez. Good ball to clear it out and get rid of the threat there, and that will be the whistle blown. And so 48 minutes gone by. West Brom able to take advantage. They lead by a score of 2-0. An injury to Chad Bond really changed things up for Sacramento, and they've got to find a new recipe to get back into this match because it's all UK at this point in time, and they have played very well early on. Malumbu with the second goal here this evening. We'll step aside here. We've got a couple of nice features for you. I know, Kevin, that you were able to step aside and visit some of the kids over at UC Davis Hospital. I know that West Brom was there as well. We also had a nice match as part of this Sacramento Soccer Day, is where we had caught up with a couple of players who are in that futures game, the 15 to 17-year-olds that you may see right here on this very field the next future couple of years. So a great halftime coming up for you. Stay with that. We'll be back with Kevin Goldthwait's thoughts and how Sacramento can get right back in this and things that just may be a little bit of effort. Stay tuned. That's all coming up right here.
I got an email from the Sacramento Republic and it talked about the donation. I was at Target today. I picked up a bunch of stuff and brought it over. It's a good cause. I had to do my part.
How do you think he does that?
I don't know. He's probably been practicing his whole life.
Do you think I could ever do that?
No.
He makes it look so effortless.
Such grace.
There you go, Mr. Bartolome. Your AC unit is good to go.
We love you, Bonney! You're my favorite!
Bonney Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Rooter Service. Making fans in Sacramento for over 35 years.
Did you see that? He looked right at me.
I was looking for a health plan that could give me more value for my money. That's why I chose Western Health Advantage. And so should you. My family has access to a wide network of quality doctors and services. So I have peace of mind knowing that we have the coverage we need and we're ready no matter what happens.
Discover the advantages at westernhealth.com. Western Health Advantage. Advantage you.
clubs here in town, and they should be proud that they were recognized by their club and their technical director, and represent their club they come from with with some spirit and make them proud.
I mean, Sac Soccer Day, it's just, I think what they're trying to do is get the community involved with soccer in the area, not just the Republic. They're just trying to bring them all together and have fun, get some good players out, get a game going. I mean, I'm to be honest, for a lot of players, it's an opportunity, I think. I mean, go to college and they're looking, players used to be like, oh, MLS, it's going to be a reach, but now it's like, hey, hometown, play in the Republic, so I think it's a new goal for a lot of players.
With a new pro team in town, it will demand all the clubs in town to rise up. You have the opportunity now to be a professional in your hometown.
I like that Sac Republic is here because it gives us another opportunity for a team to be here and a team to watch, and just to Sacramento come together as a culture and support one team.
Sacramento is a hotbed for talent. If we can all come together and put a common team or a common focus together, it gives these kids something to go, I want to play for the Sacramento pro team.
It's going to be good. Hopefully that will be my future, so it's a good start.
We're at the UC Davis Children's Hospital visiting one of the children's wards, saying hi to some kids who looks like most of them are coming out of surgery today, so a little bit groggy, but just trying to cheer their day up a little bit, say hi, sign a few autographs, and hopefully make their day a little bit better.
How you doing, pal? You okay? Nice to meet you. You alright? Yeah.
How you feeling?
This is for
we got a gift for you.
I've got a Sacramento.
Got a Republic scarf for you, buddy.
Republic scarf for you. To go with your jersey. There you go.
Having Chris and James here from West Brom's, two of their key players, I think once again shows West Brom's commitment and support here in Sacramento, and it's great having them out here. And hopefully some of the kids really realize that they're getting some pretty special players coming and saying hi to them today.
We do a couple of things like this during the season back in England as well, so it's something we're used to doing. But if you can go around and put a smile on a kid's face for a few minutes of the day when they're sitting about the hospital, and give them a little bit of a change up for part of the day, it's a job well done, I think.
And for the families as well, I can understand from their point of view, it's really tough to see their child in a bad way, and if we can beat them too, it's a job well done for us.
Would you guys like to give them one? Don't you guys go get
Drake was his name, came in, had a leg infection, had surgery I think this morning, just came out of surgery. Sister brought him his Sac Republic jersey to wear as he's recovering in the recovery room. And for him to be able to get a signed jersey from West Brom, I think is pretty special.
Hopefully, good you can't come to the game tomorrow on Friday night. You can have that. That's one of our shirts. That's signed by the whole team. Okay. There you go.
Perfect. Thank you.
That's the coolest thing ever, guys.
Nice. It's a nice part of the job, being able to sort of to give something back, especially the young kids. But as I say, in a situation that nobody wants to be in. We've been to America a couple of times on tour, and it's been the same both times. You know what you're going to get. The hospitality second to none. As you say, Sacramento Republic have been super with us. When you come away to a country that you're not too familiar with, and that's what you mean. That's a great
Sacramento's all about, and we're thrilled for them to come out and say hi to the kids today.
Oh no!
Sacramento Soccer Day, the second annual time we've had this celebration here, and it's a warm one here at the capital city tonight, and West Brom in control here against the Republic, up 2-0. But we have Adam John with us, and Adam gets the night off as you will be playing on Sunday. But thanks for joining us. And what do you think of West Brom? I know you see him Monday here, and then you get a look at him a little different view on Friday night. Have you been impressed with this EPL squad?
Oh yeah, I mean. Get your taste of the season at Rayleigh's, Bel Air, and Nob Hill.
Very good team. I think Monday and in parts of the game today, we've held our own. It's just some costly turnovers are kind of doing us in. If we eliminate those, I think we can get 1 or 2 back in the second half.
What's the difference when you play for a USL Pro team? I mean, it seems that we talked about being quick and not hurrying for a lot of these teams, and it seems West Brom just really makes those decisions, and they're very confident with them, and they seem to not really just be all over the place, but they're very calculated, I guess would be a good term. What do you think?
Yes, they're very composed, just through experience and playing at that level. And you can tell their decision-making in the final third is very good. They don't turn the ball over too much. And so we need to do a little bit more of that. I know all the guys are excited to be playing against this team, but sometimes you just need to calm down on the ball and wait for something to come.
So, Adam, with you being a local kid here, myself, I grew up in Sacramento, played in MLS for a few years, never, ever had the chance to play here in Sacramento, not one game as a professional. What's it mean to you as a kid growing up here locally to come back, be part of the inaugural season, get some minutes, score some goals for the club? What does it mean for you as a player growing up in Sacramento to play here professionally and come kind of full circle?
Well, it's been an incredible experience. I couldn't have dreamed of playing for a team in Sacramento. Growing up, you kind of, there's not really a team to support, but I think now going forward, especially in this first year, I mean, all these kids now have a team that they can aspire to play for, and it's incredible to have that opportunity.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with now young kids, the 10, 12-year-olds can kind of come to these games on the weekends, see some professional athletes in their own backyard, have players that they can aspire to be like. I'm sure there's tons of kids out here wanting to be like Adam John, and that's got to be a pretty cool feeling. Here we are at Cal Expo, a place I'm sure you grew up going to the fair. We all did. Here we got the fair in the background right now. So, as a player who hasn't played in 3 years now, I'm a bit jealous of what you have to be able to come back here, play for this club, and really kind of come out as the city's fully embraced everybody. So congratulations for you for coming back. And I think it's just something that's really special to see, and hopefully a lot of kids can aspire to be like an Adam John.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, the support from everyone in the city has been awesome. I mean, getting 20,000 at Hughes and then selling out every game here at Bonney is incredible. No one could have expected that.
And having your family close by, are they making it out to every match? And I know your sister works for the club as well.
Yeah, they come out. They brave the heat just like everyone else, but they enjoy the close commute, and it's been a pleasure to have them.
Yeah, it's almost like the Johns have taken over the Republic. You got the front office.
Well, and the Thompsons, too. I mean, this is becoming quite a local battle. Now, watching Tommy Thompson, I'm sure you saw him a little bit because you're a little bit older than he is, but are you kind of impressed by him at 18 years of age? I mean, just how talented he is already at this age?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's a great player. And I played with his older brother at Stanford. And so I got a taste of the Thompsons.
Yeah.
But yeah, great family, very good soccer players, and I'm glad I've gotten a chance to play with them.
And I know you played with J.J. Koval, who's on the loan as well. Did you say, hey, coach, I think it might be a good player, or do they already have that all scattered out?
Oh, they already knew that. And yeah, it was great to see J.J. come out. He's a really good player, and it's good that he's playing some games and helping the team out.
Yeah, it's always good getting those local kind of, well, not necessarily local, but California kids up here, as the talent pool here in California is so strong, and you see a lot of these guys from SoCal and NorCal come up through the professional ranks, typically through the college ranks like you did at Stanford. So it's fun seeing JJ come out here tonight and get some minutes.
Did you think you're playing here, Jesuit High School, and then you get a chance, stay in Northern California at Stanford, and then you get picked up by San Jose, and then here you are in Sacramento. I mean, just being that you continue to stay local, I mean, most soccer players have to go all over the place. How have you been able to just stick around home?
I wish I knew the answer to that question, but I've been incredibly lucky, and you're right. I mean, most players, they're uprooted. They go all across the country, and luckily it just worked out my way, and hopefully I can stay here as long as possible.
Did you actually learn anything at Stanford, or was it just completely? Did you actually go to class? Because some people say, I go to college and you didn't learn a whole lot. But Stanford's a pretty tough school. Did they make you learn something there?
Oh yeah, they held us accountable for sure.
So it wasn't just all fun on the soccer field there.
No, not all fun.
But you had a great time, great career there, and you continue to press forward. And I want to ask you a little bit more because you came on with San Jose, and you're able to pick your jersey number. Now, for the people who didn't realize why you chose that number, tell us why you decided, looking through numbers, this is why I'm going to pick this one.
Yeah, I was surprised that 14 was available coming in. I think it's a pretty common number in soccer teams, but it's the number of Thierry Henry, my favorite player growing up. Yeah. So that's why I was 14 last year with the Quakes, and I'm glad that there's a 14 available here at Republic.
And you got to play against him, I imagine, right?
Yeah, my second game, I got to play against him. Couldn't have asked for more. It was amazing.
A little starstruck?
Yep, definitely. Got to meet him afterwards, the whole shebang.
That's how I feel every time I work with Kevin Goldthwait. I'm starstruck as well. So.
Yeah, he gets speechless usually. It's pretty crazy.
That's what I've heard.
That's what I've heard. So, well, Adam, we really appreciate you coming up and I guess enjoy Sacramento Soccer Day. I know this is a great thrill for a lot of you who guys grew up playing soccer here and now professional ranks. We wish you all the best, and we want you to stick around here, but we also want you back up at San Jose scoring goals at the MLS level pretty soon as well.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Okay. And so that's Adam John, and starting striker here for the Republic, taking the night off, but you can catch him on Sunday night, and we really do appreciate him spending time with us and talking a little bit soccer here on a beautiful, warm night in the capital city. And great thrill, as you know, Kevin, playing locally and sitting here in front of your home fans. And a lot of people who, grew up watching you on the soccer field a little bit, able to catch you, out there playing on the field. It's great excitement. And, one thing you said was you're a little jealous of having the youngsters be able to scream your name here in your home city. That's just a really surreal moment a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, this is my hometown. I love Sacramento. I've been away for probably about 10 years, moved back a few years ago. But the great thing about this job, Rob, what we do, is it allows me to continue to kind of give back to the community, be a part of the soccer community in Sacramento, which I've been away from for so long. So I'm thrilled to be back. I say I'm jealous, but I'm thrilled for every kid out here that gets to watch these professionals play. Have somebody to aspire to be like, be able to kind of, pull mom and dad's shirt, say, like, let's go to the Republic game, let's go to the Republic game, so we can see these great athletes come out here. So, I'm thrilled for Sacramento. I love being a part of it. It keeps me involved in soccer, which has been my passion for so many years. So here we are tonight, playing against an EPL team, and it's just something that's so special that, every once in a while you need to kind of sit back and think about it for a minute that it's actually true. So more than thrilled for the Republic right now.
And a couple of substitutions as well. We'll settle it officially here, but looks like we moved in with Christian Gonzalez. He'll play in the midfield, and he looks like he will replace maybe Alvarez here. We're just going to try to calculate all this down here, but we also have Jesus Padilla in as well, and Gabe Gissy is just checked in for the Republic. And working that backside is Gilbert. So we'll set those for you here, and in just a moment, we are underway. Is the second half here. West Brom scoring 2 goals. It was Barrino in the 13th minute, and then Malumbo in the 30th. And taking a glance here as Malumbo fights for one. In the middle of the park, it was one assisted for West Brom, but the foul's pretty even, 6-5 Sacramento with a slight disadvantage, however you want to pull that one there. 3 corners apiece for each squad. Offsides called 2 for the Republic, 1 for West Brom. Each goalkeeper with 2 saves, but it was the 2 goals that really made the difference. The shots are not too different. 10 for West Brom, 8 versus Sacramento, but I think it was the type of shots. It was almost too easy for the Baggies, and they were able to easily take the advantage, and they have it here working into the second half. Kevin Goldthwait along Rob McAllister, and we continue this play here on a warm night of Sacramento. Here's Dominic Jakubek.
I think Preki probably had some choice words for these guys at halftime. I don't think that Preki would at all be happy or excited with what's going on right now in the first half, and they got a lot of work to do to come out and start battling and fighting, and hopefully that they can kind of come out and maybe get a goal here quickly.
And the crowd mic up a little bit high. We'll try to turn that down for you. We apologize. So we'll get that figured out here in a second. And we're moving the 47th minute here. West Brom from the EPL, coming all the way from the United Kingdom, and we appreciate everybody tuning in near and far.
Yeah, near and far. We want to give a shout out to @BaggyFacts for watching the game at stupid o'clock.
That's what he said.
I love it. Hopefully he's got a coffee and Bailey's in there or something like that. But glad to see you guys tuning in. Appreciate the support. Your squad is going to be dominant this year. Hopefully they make some noise in the EPL, get themselves in contention. So thanks for tuning in.
5 o'clock on a Saturday a.m. That's brutal. I don't know if I've gotten at 5 o'clock in the last 5 years for anything. So we appreciate you tuning in and hanging out watching some soccer with us, or football as it's called across the pond, which brings up a little bit of an interesting take too, Kevin, is that we know that in the United States, college soccer and 50-50 ball run either by either team here, but it's a real difference, and it's become this, you know, why does America still call it soccer? Well, we kind of got to blame the Brits. They're the one that came up with the term. It was reading in the Atlantic, and they traced it all back, and it was apparently, you had rugby, football, and then you had this other type of football association they decided to call rugby rugger, and they said, well, how about we'll just call it soccer? And America really grabbed onto it, and I guess after a while, the British, they got a little annoyed with us saying soccer too much, so it's just interesting where the origins start here.
Yeah, those lovely Brits, right? Good ball forward. Let's see if Dakota can keep that next time. Tommy, good ball in.
He's up, he's happy. Play it, play it.
Another chance for Republic, and they're starting to pressure a little bit. They came out a little bit more fired up out of the locker room, and now they're starting to play a little sharper. Dakota Collins out up front,
yeah, love
along
that
with Jissy.
Love that work by Tommy Thompson there. Goes in for 50-50 ball, gets kind of knocked down, doesn't appeal for the penalty, gets back up, tries to keep the ball, sets up a shot for Jissy. Unfortunately, Jissy just kind of pulls it wide. But once again, good positive movement forward. The crowd's trying to get behind these guys to pump them up a little bit.
And there is Delbridge, who changes cleats from the black to yellow. Maybe didn't like what he had going on in the first 45, so he's changed them up here. Dorn's over the top, trying to track it down. Christian Gonzalez able to shield him, and nicely done, as able to think things out. And as the Republic try to get back into this match here, they trail by 2 goals. So decent crowd here tonight. It was quite warm at 8,000 seat cell, but I don't know if everyone was able to check in. This one probably got scared from the heat a little bit. I know that it's almost a sellout on Sunday as well, but it has been a great crowds all season long. The first couple of matches, a huge stadium where 20,000 fans showed up, and I know in West Brom they pull about 25,000 or so, and a very team that has not had a huge amount of success lately, but still a lot of diehard fans. And we've even seen a couple in a big collision as shouldering into the touch line there and getting up slowly, as I don't know if Padilla may have been a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah, Padilla just comes in really, really strongly, a little bit too aggressive on that. It might have been Balumbu on the side or Barino, who looked like they might have been trying to take it off their chest rather than go up for that header. And he comes out worse for the wear for it.
Moving the right side, Liam O'Neill just checked in at half, so a couple of guys getting the 45-minute marks. O'Neill got good minutes in the first game here on Monday night. Here's Olsen steps up. Olsen played all 90.
Yeah, O'Neill shown his versatility, came in at right back, or played all 90 minutes at right back on Monday. Here he is in the middle of a park, which I think is more of his traditional position. Might even be able to play on the outside as well. So a good player to have in your squad that can play so many positions and fill in. And looks like he's going to have a pretty bright future for the Baggies as they go forward.
Barino called for offside. We really haven't seen much from Sebastian Pocagnoli, Belgian national tonight. He was really a key part moving the ball around on that Monday night contest, but he has been a little bit quiet. I don't know, maybe he hasn't had to step up. Those strikers, and maybe it's the formation a little bit too, Kevin?
Yeah, you know, he made a good, a few good overlaps early in that first half and towards the end. So he's made some positive movement forward, and I think when you're kind of evaluating how your half went as a left back, you want to see how many times you get forward and swing some balls in, good service in, and hopefully you're not getting beat and letting balls getting behind you defensively. I thought he played pretty solid in the first half. Like to see him get forward a little bit more, to be honest, if I'm a Baggies fan. But a solid performance in the first half, and hopefully he's one of those players. Here he is getting forward again.
West Brom with the poke into the middle. Anichebe stalling, looking. Tommy Thompson steals it.
Pocagnoli again makes the right decision, I think, plays a good ball into Anichebe. Anichebe unfortunately gives it away.
And there's Jissy. We haven't seen much of Gabe Jissy. Just a youngster, just graduated high school.
Jesse's got a ton of pace. He just has to learn how to harness it. Similar to Tommy Thompson, he's got to learn when to make these runs, when to go all out, when to go forward, kind of harness himself a little bit as well.
Well, he's a 2002 Player of the Year in the New England Revolution Development Academy, as he was able to poke through 15 goals in 29 appearances. He's got some speed for, I think he's just 17 years old. So him and Tommy Thompson, a couple of teenagers, both on the park tonight. And Jesse, as you said, flying to the ball. Padilla trying to track it down as well. And I like what Sacramento's done here. Much better pace, much more aggressive. Stop hanging your head. They seem to be a little bit more alive. Give up a foul there, West Brom. Sacramento trying to get this pace, but now, Kevin, so you've got the pace back, you've got the energy, those things that you can control pretty easily. How about now the attack? As you saw, they really did not come out as sharp as they'd hoped. And now what are you looking for as they move into the attack?
No, just I think we're going to move for this Tommy Thompson again. That final pass, he seems to be lacking just a little bit. Does all the hard work, really. Does the scrappiness, picks the ball up, does really well moving forward. Unfortunately, he can't find that final pass to keep that attack going. I think what Republic really needs to do right now is stay positive, keep moving the ball quickly. Don't kind of rest on the laurels of the first half. Forget about it. Almost think of it as a clean slate here coming out in the second half, and string some passes together, find the gaps, find the seams, and when you can go forward as a team, go forward as a unit.
Alvarez, nice ball. Gonzalez on the right flank, moving toward the center. And again, misplayed. Just didn't tap it well. So set the lineups for you here. Jacobek in the goal, Padilla, Delbridge, Gilbert, and Gonzalez. And we have Thompson, Koval, another Padilla, Alvarez, and Collins and Jisse for Sacramento. For the Baggies, a replacement of the goalkeeper, as now it's Luke Daniels. And he is joined by Wisdom, Dawson, Olsen, and Pocagnoli. The back four. O'Neill, Malumbo, and Baird. And Barrino, Anichebe, and Dorrance. And those are your starting 11 here for the second half. Anichebe deep into the box, pushes Delbridge out of the way, no whistle. Looking for the right side, Barrino. Barrino's gonna track it down outside near the end line.
I cannot believe how strong Anichebe is. Even with the ball, he's pushing people off of him.
Baird, missed pass off the step into the middle of the park here. Padilla working, Jisse. See if we can get him over the top and get him running a little bit. Try to spread out the Baggies. It's something they've not been able to do. Olsen has been so critical there. He has really put a stamp on and slowed down that front two for Sacramento. They just have not been able to break free this evening, or really for Monday evening for much of that time.
Yeah, Olsen's just class in the back. Just a smart player. Played a ton of games.
Gonzalez to Alvarez. Back to the mid-circle.
Let's get some of the players over their support.
There's Tommy Thompson.
Yeah, 1 and 2 touch here. Side to side, find the seams, find the gaps. Be patient with it. When it opens up, then you go. You got to be, that's one of the things I think the Baggies do really well, is they keep the ball, keep the ball, keep the ball.
There's a nice ball here. Showing some of that speed, but we've seen West Brom, as soon as Sacramento gets in that attacking third, they just seem to collapse right into the box. You have 8 or 9 guys right there trying to thwart any kind of attack from the Republic, and they've been able to do it very successfully over about 3+ halves now.
Yeah, the Baggies are just so well unified in the back. That unit, it just reacts as one. Typically, you don't see too many guys out of position, and that's one of the strengths, I think, and something that they need to really focus on this year, the Baggies do, is just being a solid back four, maybe even a back five with that holding midfielder in there as a set piece.
Here's Alvarez looking for Delbridge. Jisse will check it. Tap right side. Koval not able to do much with it. So a couple of new additions for West Brom as well. 21-year-old midfielder George Thorne left for Derby. But Brown ID transfers from the club. £10 million deal from Nigeria. He's not here in California, but he has 23 national caps. And so he is a player that will be greatly welcomed in West Brom. Low ball here, Kevin. That's one of those corner kicks you probably despise the most, is when it doesn't give it a chance.
Yeah, it's just a poor service in. You got to clear that first defender. And it just kind of uninspires the attackers who are in there. They're not going to be making as nearly as sharp and crisp runs the next corner kick. You know, it just kind of, those things breed laziness and complacency. So it starts from that set piece. Just serve a good ball and get it over the box. Get people fighting for it as West Brom tries to move quickly here.
Not a bad foul by Jissy to slow the attack.
Oh, here we go.
Just breaking free, and this will not be an offside. And Nicheby played it perfectly. Beat Delbridge in space. Delbridge recovers. Dorrans, looks like he's about to wind up. Taps it over. A streaking, excuse me. Pocagnoli.
Nice back heel there. Pocagnoli getting forward.
And another giveaway.
Republic's all over the place right now. And that's just, you know, what I like to see there is Nichebe's going forward. He makes that great run forward. Rather than forcing things, he keeps the ball, plays it back to Dorrans, and they make the right play with Pocagnoli streaking a little bit late as they continue to move forward here. They're all out of sorts right now.
O'Neal dumping it off to Barrino. Gonzalez saves the header, concedes a corner.
This is just mental strength and toughness and concentration that I think we're lacking right now.
And you see the bright lights behind the Tower Bridge Battalion, the supporter group here for Sacramento. That is the California State Fair. And that is the carnival going on just behind, and quite a unique experience here for a lot of teams, and especially here in Sacramento. Beautiful corner, tapped away by Jakubek. Collins tracking it down. The Cal Poly grad pushing it the other way, trying to get the corner. Olsen trying to slow it down, and is successful in doing just that.
Yeah, I want to see Collins use his pace there. Take a big touch and just start running after it. Use your athleticism.
Padilla turning, keeps it on the floor. Delbridge will serve as the point. Strikers for West Brom have put so much pressure on Sacramento tonight, and it has paid off for them. 2 goals. Meanwhile, the Republic have pretty much gone quiet. It was that first 15, they looked pretty good, and it has not been much of success since then, as they haven't even really got a good shot on goal at this point in time. And Foster had a pretty easy night.
Yeah, Alvarez had one early. Foster made a good save. Did his work for the night as he's, you know, resting on the sidelines right now. Good ball out there.
Gonzalez, a little chest trap. Here's Alvarez. Good chance for Sacramento. Moving back, though, already 7 for West Brom. Now they've got 8 back. And that's been the problem, Kevin. Too many men. They can't space it out. Gonzalez looking to wind up. Nobody home.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of just a wasted ball. Keep the ball, wait for the chances, wait for things to open up. West Brom's going to defend solid with 8 right now, is what they typically do, and they do a very good job at that, is you just get behind the ball, getting their shoulders right.
And we got an injury report here. Is a Chad Bond, who went out around the 20th minute mark and dislocated right big toe.
Yeah, I think he saw that in Nichebe's face when he saw something wasn't right down there. Looks like he almost got ill. Unfortunate for Bond, you know, hopefully that's not a long-term thing, and he'll be back in within the next few weeks. But, you know, when you do something like that, that's such a fickle, tough injury to come back from.
And the training, you can't run. I mean, you lose not only that, but your cardio a little bit, and it can be very sensitive. Then you may start favoring the other leg. And Nicheby.
Good ball by Nicheby there, switching the field.
Flat to the other side of the park. Here's O'Neal. O'Neal, quite a pest against the Republic on Monday night. He was just in the right place a lot of times. And Nicheby from about 22 yards out, a diving tight attempt by Jakubuk, not in time, and a goal for West Brom.
Yeah, that's Delbridge and Gilbert, who are letting Nicheby take the ball, take a touch, turn, another touch, and he slams one on target. They need to get up and put some pressure on. You can't just drop back as soon as the ball goes into Nicheby. I mean, that just gives them free, a decent shot right in the corner. Jakubek can't do anything about it, but honestly, at the end of the day, that's Delbridge and Gilbert. One of them needs to step up and put some pressure. Can't let Nicheby, a player like him with his skill and talent, turn and have a go freely.
He just laces one in the left corner, and you knew everybody in the park knew that he was going to do that.
And that, for me, honestly, that's laziness and lack of concentration. You need to stay tuned in for the whole 90 minutes of the game, and it looks like Delbridge might have tuned out for a minute and took that play off, essentially, and gets punished for it. Once again, we talk about West Brom, what they can do when the chances are given to them. They can punish you.
Here's Maroof now. Replaces Barrino. And Roof Started West Brom in 2011, on loan, 3 different teams, just 21 years old. Wearing number 34. Getting time now as they make some changes, and it looks like West Brom will probably make a few more before this match is over. Sacramento now in a deep hole, running the lane is Jissy, and again, cut off by West Brom. Just floating the ball right over the defense, making it very easy. Those cross passes have not been very difficult. Here's Pocagnoli. Pocagnoli will send one over the middle.
Good ball in. Difficult to deal with for Gilbert. Does a good job, though. You know, right now, West Brom can do as they wish, and this has got to be frustrating for Preki, seeing these guys, seeing his team kind of being almost...
They're being manhandled right now.
I hate to go that far, but it's not looking good right now. And they got to, honestly, if I'm one of these guys out here, it's just you got to start working hard, be difficult, kick a guy, get yourself into the game, maybe inspire your guys a little bit.
And I don't even think it's really lack of effort right now. It just seems that West Brom is in sync with one another. And you could point to that where this is a new lineup. This has never been together. You have a couple of trialists, so it's hard to take this. And what probably you know more than anybody, you start trying to do too much, and that could get you in even more trouble. As they got to test Daniels back there. As Luke Daniels checked in at the half, replacing Ben Foster. And so you have a chance now not to go against the #1 guy to maybe make him work a little bit, but they haven't really been able to get in the box too often.
Yeah, they got a lot of work to do before they can even worry about getting some shots on target. They need to start being a cohesive unit, working hard as a unit rather than having 1 or 2 guys kind of go off on their own. And honestly, I think right now it might not be fitness, but it's definitely concentration, which could bear down to the fitness of Republic right now. In this heat, might have a little bit to do with it. But honestly, they got. It's not. If I'm Preki, I'm getting up and I'm making sure that my guys are working hard. And in these situations, just start running. Get yourself fit. If I'm one of these guys, that's what I'm thinking. Just keep chasing people.
Over the top, looking to slow it down. I don't think we've seen Sacramento really play this poorly all season. I mean, they really have been out of sync. This is not a representation of what this team has been all year.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen it, and it's just uninspired play, really. It's just guys out there that almost look like they don't necessarily want to be out there. I think the word that I keep thinking of is uninspired. So it's something we haven't seen, Rob, with these guys, and this is the first time we got a squad that's not typically in the first team right now. But still, that's no excuse. You got to go out there and want to work hard and want to play at least.
Collins hits the deck hard.
Oh, yeah, Collins
Balumbu.
Elbow in the back of the net there by Olsen.
West Brom, founded in 1878. Playing the English Premier League now, and they play their home matches at the Hawthorne, which opened in 1900. It's gone through a couple of renovations, but nonetheless, a lot of history with West Brom. I mean, probably if your grandparents are a fan, you've become a fan. Jacobuk comes way out of the mouth of the box to come get this one.
Yeah, good play. Well done by Jacobuk there. On his front studs, on his toes, sees that ball come over the top, comes out and just grabs it.
And we talk about history, Kevin. I know it's something that Sacramento's really starting to try to do here. I mean, you got to start somewhere. They started in 1878, over 100 plus years ago, 40 at this point. And it is interesting to see just how Sacramento's trying to build that history right now. They're starting it, and I think overall that this club has been put together in such a short time and putting such a good product on the field night in and night out is quite a testament to what's going on.
Yeah, and you got a great supporter section in the Tower Bridge Battalion back there, chanting, singing all game. And here's another giveaway by Dalebridge. Plays the ball chest high out to Gonzalez. Even if it is towards Gonzalez, he's going to have a hard time bringing that thing down. So it's just a poor pass by Dalebridge. But yeah, we have the, I think the right pieces in place. Like I said, the Tower Bridge Battalion, they're phenomenal. They're here every game, standing up, singing the entire game, having a good time. It's a young club. But you know what? The city's totally, we said it so many times before, the city's totally embraced them.
And they've come out strong for many of these matches. Even night in, night out. And if this continues, this club will break the USL Pro attendance record with several matches to go. And Roof makes a move, picks up the foul.
Yeah,
Good look here, and here's a yellow card.
Yeah, Padilla's just caught flat-footed on his heels there. He's caught square as Roof's coming out. I mean, he's kind of get on a little half turn there, force him outside, and just chase him down. But good move, good positive, quick movement, decisive by Roof. Like seeing that. And here's going to be a difficult set piece. Looks like Pocadilla's on it with his left foot.
And so place the ball down here as another substitution as Garbston comes in.
Yeah, Pocagnoli on this right here with it looks like Malumbu right next to him. I imagine Pocagnoli is going to try to dip this, lift it right over the wall and dip it under the crossbar on the near post side.
Anichebe now coming out to give him a little bit of direction of maybe what he's looking for.
Yeah, if Anichebe is going to take this, I imagine it's going to be pure power.
Anichebe walks back.
You got to worry about Anichebe
Delbridge
here.
on the right. This one's high over the bar, and Jacobuk would have played it there. It did not need to make a play on it. So as we talk about a substitution, Brad Gampson comes in, and Gampson, part of this team that, excuse me, it's Garbston. He's a West Brown Academy player, and see what he can do out here with a couple of minutes left in this match.
Yeah, it looks like Pocagnoli there was trying just a little bit too much power there. It's that fine line as you're that close to goal to hit it that hard and allow it enough time to dip back down under the crossbar. You got to put just enough pace on it to get it, have the ability to dip down, and just enough pace to make sure that it's out of Jacobek's reach. And that one's just a little bit too much power there. Right idea, though, I think.
Daniels picks it up. Interesting thing about substitutions and friendlies is it really can change the pace of the match as well. And as easily as it's 3-0, Sacramento, they're dealing with substitutions. The Baggies are just like the Republic are, and there really shouldn't be an excuse at this point in time. Now you just got to go and play a little soccer.
Yeah, I think right now this is just going to be a little bit of a learning lesson, honestly. I don't see Preki getting up too much. And here's a nice little break. See if Delbridge can get back.
On the run, here comes Garbston. A little tap to the right side. Sails too far out of his reach. And Jacobek will watch it, but a good play. Just not maybe the best chance on goal there, but Garbston's getting really out there and making a run at it. Couple of more substitutions here.
Looks like we might be calling another water break here, Rob. This is a World Cup special. It's the first time I'd ever seen a water break called during a match and in the World Cup nonetheless. And it looks like that's what we're doing here tonight. It's hot. It's a hot night, so I think it's the right call here. Here's the replay as Gampson kind of flubs his shot, left-footed, pulls it across the face of the goal, goes wide.
And so another substitution is Donovan Daniels. And Daniels just tweeting the other night. He said, good win tonight against the fit and strong Sac Republic team. Really happy to continue getting minutes in the tank, as he put it there. And so as we stop for a water break here, very warm temperatures. We're typically used to that breeze coming off the river, just a south end here of Bonney Field. Not here tonight, but it has been a little bit warm to say the least. It's been tough out there, but now multiple substitutions as Donovan Daniels into the ball game. He's been with Brom since 2011 on loan, a couple different clubs, and so another physical presence. So 6'1", 200 pounds, and it appears that West Brom just has more in the tank here, and Sacramento is going to need the Tower Bridge Battalion to really get behind him at this point in time if they're going to try to at least score a goal or two here in the final 20.
Yeah, you talk about West Brom's energy right now. I mean, it's a lot easier to play and to be motivated to work hard when you have the ball at your feet. If you've been chasing for 20, 30, 40, close to 40 minutes here, essentially is what Republic, it seems like we've been chasing, it becomes really tired, really laborious to get energy and get the motivation to keep chasing. As you know, it's usually a futile effort when you're chasing guys down. It just becomes real difficult. But this is where the character of the team's really tested. We have 20 minutes left in the game here. I want to see these guys see their character, see their desire, come out, be inspired, show the fans that came out here tonight that they deserve a show, and give them a little bit of show. Make them think that, that these guys have heart, and give them something to watch here for the final 20 minutes is what I want to see.
And a couple of the trialists, look at Padilla. And, you talk about Jesus and Gabe. They both come out here in a roll. And, they're trying to get some win. Here's a run by Collins. Collins strikes it towards the net. And it did not go off to the left side. It looked like It was sent through, but nonetheless, a good run by the Republic, the best we've seen in probably 45 minutes.
Yeah, good effort going forward. Dakota Collins showing his pace, showing his athleticism, what we talked about a little bit earlier. Gets it on his left foot, takes a shot. Looks like it was deflected just wide, but maybe the keeper. But good positive movement going forward. Unfortunate not to get a goal there.
Corner low, header, off the post, into the net! It bounced off a second time, and Sacramento is on the board. And it was J.J. Koval on loan from the San Jose Earthquakes. A great corner. Tommy Thompson with the first header, hit off the far post. Kovar there to clean it up.
Here we go. We talk about giving the fans a show. Good ball played through to earn the corner initially. Great service in the box. A great header to the far post, bounce off the far post. And who is it? J.J. Koval staying on his front studs, being active, and gets a little tap-in sitter. So great effort. Good movement again by Sac Republic, and glad to see them get on the score sheet, and especially Koval coming in for the night, getting a goal. That's got to feel good against West Brom.
So Barrino, Malumbo, Anichebe, and then Koval here. And completely changing the attitude at Bonney Field here. It was gone quiet, Kevin Goldthwait, and almost a sense of nerves. Here's a break chip shot offside, and Kevin Goldthwait, you don't appreciate it. You don't agree with it.
I don't know about now. It looked like Dakota timed his run just right. Linesman sees it differently. He's got a better angle than I do, but it looked like Dakota might have been robbed there a little bit. It would have been a tough ball to bring down and go on target as it was bouncing about chest high, but still, once again, this is where I think Dakota thrives in these situations. He's got such pace and athleticism, and he's got to use it at the right time. Finding the channels, making good runs, and the right runs is what you really need to focus on if you're Dakota. Finding those seams and those channels.
And he was heavily recruited out of Temecula, California, in Southern California region, and picked up and went over to UCLA for his first year, and then transferred to Cal Poly, another pretty good soccer program down south. And now here he is, staying in his home state at the capital city, making some good runs here, trying to get some more time. The youngster, not a lot of professional experience that he's getting here with the Republic against an EPL team. Gonzalez slips, and the physical play of West Brom. And look at Delbridge. He's been pushing Anichebe hard tonight. Anichebe just so strong and powerful, gets low to the ball, and now he's pushing. Koval attacking, and it looks like a foul will finally be called, and might be going to his pocket, and a yellow card for J.J. Koval.
Yeah, they're grabbing Anichebe. Anichebe doesn't take too kindly to it. Maybe even kind of throws an elbow there, but you know, if you're that big and you're that physical, you better be able to take it when it comes back at you. So Anichebe, maybe being a little bit soft there, but he absolutely manhandled Delbridge there when they're going for the initial ball being played out by Pocanoli. So Anichebe showing his skill again, showing his size, showing his strength.
Here's Chris Baird. Played with Southampton from 01-07. And whistle blows.
That's the spot Anichebe would love to have the ball there. Fortunately for Republic, it's called back. Anichebe back to goal, about 15 yards out, would be probably pretty good. Take a turn, have a go.
O'Neal looking for a give and go on the right side, and tapped, in trouble. Sacramento, a sigh of relief, is nearly into the own goal. Now to work along the touch line. Olsen comes up with a head.
Concentration again by Gilbert there. Lets that come across his own goal. Jakubek and Gilbert aren't talking. Gilbert might be thinking Jakubek's coming out, but there needs to be communication. And when you get tired and when it's hot, that's usually the first thing that goes, communication. So I think that's a perfect example of heavy legs, and Pocanoli puts it through. Malumbu puts it through Tommy's legs here.
Tommy Thompson getting physical. You'd like to see him win those battles. He's been pushed around a little bit.
For little guy, Tommy's scrappy. He'll give you a challenge, and he'll go in and stick his nose down. A poor ball there.
Trying to send it through. There's his roof. He's been playing with it with Sacramento. Little chip in the middle. Didn't go high enough. Kept it low, which has not been what Sacramento's needed. Probably against these bigger, stronger guys. They want to try to float it over the top.
Yeah, just forcing it, really. I think you got to be patient when you're going forward. Just because you're going forward doesn't necessarily mean you got to, you know, force a ball that's not necessarily there. Be patient, keep it. It's not going to do any harm when you're keeping it. It prevents you from chasing like we've been doing.
So as West Brom trying to tune up for the EPL, they've got a tough match as Man City tries to recapture a title from a year ago where they're able to take down West Ham United, finished with 86 points. Liverpool was right there as well. And Delbridge out of play, and I know an exciting season and for you watching the EPL, and that's coming up. A little routine for you now that you've got a little one at home. Will this be a dad and a son maybe watching some soccer this year?
Absolutely. Wake up, make her breakfast, got the EPL on. Usually up around 6, so we probably catch the first round of games, the second half, and then watch another one. So it's been fun. Finally getting some good coverage over here with, I think NBC Sports is doing a great job of covering the games. Been a bit of a ritual in the Goldthwaite household lately, which has been fun.
So I know where I need to be on breakfast on the weekend mornings.
Come on over, I'll cook you some eggs.
Some bangers and mash. Header into the arms of Jakubek and bubbles out. Sacramento will hear the whistle blow and they'll breathe a sigh of relief, but another great opportunity. It was Donovan Daniels.
I think he might have been wide open in the box. Does what he needs to do, puts it on frame. I think you ideally want to see him put it on the ground towards Jakubek's feet, so it's more difficult to make that save. Fortunately for Republic, it's right at Jakubek's chest. Jakubek stays big, makes a good save.
Alvarez goes down, throw in. Off the shoulder of Delbridge. They wanted a handball. They won't get it. Sends one backward.
It's like Anichibi's getting frustrated, which is a good job by Delbridge. Poor giveaway again, but Anichibi looks frustrated. Delbridge is pushing him, grabbing him, pulling him, getting him off his game. But here we are in the 80th minute. I think Delbridge and Gilbert have finally figured out maybe how to get under Anichibi's skin. Just far too long.
And what we've seen is really West Brom has gotten lower on those 50-50 balls, and they're maybe not jumping for it. They're just trying to create that space, and that's what's been able to give them the advantage here. And we'll have another substitution as Adel Nabi. Is Nabi just a youngster, 5'9", 154 pounds, not a lot of size, but he was the Albion Academy and Asian Youth Player of the Year, but a little knee injury, so he's working his way back in. Trying to
good opportunity.
Get some
good opportunity here for Alvarez. This isn't a perfect spot for his, for a left footer to swing this thing in. Ideally, we talked about it before. We want this thing bouncing right on the 6-yard box and potentially going in that far post. See what happens.
Whistle blows, bends it in.
A little bit higher. That would have been nice.
A little bit stronger on the strike. Jissy trying to make a move. Pushed off, and it's a battle between Jissy and Roof.
Yeah, Roof does a good job. Well defended there.
Here's Anichibi, and there's that getting a little bit lower, creating that enough space, and this has become quite a battle between Gilbert and Anichibi. Bogagnoli out there as well. Sacramento with Padilla, Delbridge, Gilbert, Gonzalez, Thompson, Koval, Padilla, Alvarez.
Malumbu's just sitting right in the seam, right in the hole there. There needs to be someone there defending him or making it more difficult. He's got so much free space. There wasn't, 15 yards around him until there was a Republic. Here goes Tommy Thompson streaking down the right.
On the little counter. Thompson holding. Koval, who scored the only goal for the Republic today, back to Thompson. Working right. There's Collins in the middle. Looking for a teammate, and just too high and too long. Didn't curl it enough. And substitution on the way as here comes.
That's that final pass here. Tommy's been struggling a little bit with tonight. But you know what? I don't mind it. He's going forward, being positive. Unfortunately, it looks like he might even be trying just to draw a corner or earn a corner off that with a deflection. And it just sails wide. Doesn't get around it enough to cut it across.
And so Olsen, Jonas Olsen, the Swedish center back for West Brom, has had enough for the night. He'll check out. 2 quality starts for him here in California in this week of training for the Baggies. A little giveaway. And
Olsen's got to have the longest legs. in the EPL, man. That dude is lengthy, man.
Like a basketball player. 83rd minute, 3-1, West Brom over Sacramento. Rob McAllister, Kevin Goldthwait with you here.
Miscommunication there in the middle between O'Neal and maybe Baird, is it?
Here's Jissy off the chest. Corrals it. He's got Gonzalez toward the middle. Padilla down the middle.
Good ball in. You know, made Daniels make a decent play on it. Good ball in.
Here's a corner for Sacramento, and we're going to get one more. Inch this closer, then we might have a real chance here, and just sent too far, too wide. And you give one away, you get a chance for a play on the goal, and it just doesn't seem to be clicking right there. You get these opportunities, Kevin. They know they got to take advantage of them. It just seems that they're almost rushing a chance there when they didn't need to.
Yeah, I'll go back to that. That's uninspired in my mind right there. I think initially, if Alvarez takes that initial shot on his left foot, instead he cuts it back to his left foot again to try to get that shot off, and at that point, the play's gone. I mean, that opportunity is dead. Keep the ball, move it around, 1 and 2 touch, rather than simply just kind of, you know, throw your foot at it and hopefully it goes somewhere on target.
Working it in, Sacramento back here on Sunday. In the attacking third, Collins.
Padilla does a nice little, puts it right through O'Neal's legs.
Now Collins is going to take a shot on goal. Out the line, come to pick it up is Daniels.
That might have been Padilla there taking the shot. Might have been a little bit of deflection too. Routinely handled by Daniels.
That was Jesus Padilla. Also Gabe is in the game as well. Jesus wearing 27, Gabe wearing 24. Sacramento seems to be converging on West Brom on the touch lines a little bit better than we saw in the first half.
Yeah, making it difficult, that's simply what it is. And that's staying connected as a, you know, midfield four and a back four, working together as a unit rather than having a bunch of lone wolves kind of chasing balls down. So it's good to see them finally kind of, you know, click as a unit, pressure as a unit rather than one-offs.
And here is Wes Atkinson now. He replaced Baird. Baird with good minutes tonight. Not a lot of touches, though. The midfield has almost been a little bit non-existent for West Brom. They've been so good in this front three. That 4-3-3 has worked out pretty well for them against Sacramento. Here's Jissy on the break. Tommy Thompson running the right side. Looking for Collins. Can't find him. Collapsing into the box. Gives it right back up.
Collins is doing a, you know, making that run. This is what we talk about when not to make a run. I think Collins, if he peels off and goes in the middle, allows Tommy Thompson to go one-on-one. But by doing what Collins did, he tracks one of the defenders. Makes
Elbridge losing it, a second chance on the hop. Jakubek
really puts Thompson under pressure with another defender. And here we go, Alvarez. Poor area to turn the ball over. Just sloppy.
Malumbu on the edge of the box, left side, looking into the middle.
Like
Gilbert puts it away.
Alvarez looks hurt from that giveaway. He's up and walking it off.
Jissy walks, they'd go.
But that play, one play ago, I think it's a good example. We talk about when to make the right run and wrong run. You know, he's doing a good job being active, being proactive, trying to find a seam.
And whistle blows here.
Got a cramp
down
here.
Right, little cramp and check things out as we pause for a moment.
But sometimes, Rob, not making the run is the right move and the right decision. And sometimes I think you see Tommy's sometimes guilty of that. It's not for lack of effort. So it's something that's, you know, very coachable. And it's just a matter of teaching these guys, getting some video, showing them situations, get them in situations where maybe they should hold back, sit back, or make a run outside of where the run of play is going. And it just comes down to, you know, your intelligence on the field. But, yeah, it's I don't want to harp on it because it's good, positive effort. But it just needs to be a little bit smarter, really.
So Sacramento take away, and they've got a lot to look at here tonight as far as the reserves go. And if you're going to watch a little video on yourself and you say, what am I doing well, what am I doing right, what would you poke out if you're an individual player? It's one thing to look at a team, but a lot of these guys probably won't be paired together in this formation, this 11, probably for the rest of the season. Are you looking at the way you were attacking the ball? Are you looking at were you in the right place? And what are you looking at?
You know, I think you just got to decide, you know, what parts of the games where you felt you played well and you didn't play well, and really kind of evaluate that point of the game. And typically when you're going through those film sessions, you're going to have a coach, whether it's one of the assistants or the head coach, going through it with you, and he's giving you the pointers, what he wants to see you do for this particular style of play that Sac plays. And I think Preki will be reviewing this game and hopefully grabbing a couple guys and maybe just grabbing a 5 or 10 minute clip of how they're playing and try to pick out some of the chances or times during the game where they should be doing something other than what they were doing.
Now, we look at this test. West Brom, very good. The Rangers FC came here and came from behind to secure a victory. They played well against Orlando. I mean, they are in the USL Pro. What do you think they learned from these last 3 matches? I mean, are they up to par? Are they going to be playing better in these USL Pro, especially against Pittsburgh, who's not a very good team this year?
Yeah, I think tonight's just a good example, a good lesson on playing a full, you know, here we are in the 82nd minute. We got a couple minutes to go, but playing a full match, staying tuned in, concentrating for the entire match. It's so easy to tune out and forget your runner, lose track of your runners, lose track of your mark. But it's one thing that we talk about. We talk about the things that separate the good from the great, and that's one of them. You got to stay tuned in and mentally strong for the entire length of the match. Because we've seen a few times where we've...
Here's Collins, Chissy,
you know,
out comes Daniels.
With Jack's giveaway in the first half, we might have just tuned out for a minute. It was a bit lackadaisical. We get punished for it, and there's a few other giveaways that we had that we got punished for. And that's really the difference in the game right now, is those 2 or 3 plays. On 2 of them, we absolutely conceded 2 goals. So it's just a lesson that I think we can take away from this. Hopefully these guys will wake up tomorrow and start thinking about it. And it's way easier said than done, you know. It's like we mentioned, it separates the good from the great.
Can you get stuck where you almost get down on yourself because you didn't play maybe as well as you thought, or you erase this? Good chance by West Brom, strong strike. Jakubek with a save.
Yeah, you can absolutely get stuck, and you can start, you know, looking at all the bad things that you've done. But in any sport, you got to have that short memory on good and bad things. So whether you played poorly or played great, you can't really, you know, rest on your laurels or rest on your achievements. You got to keep going, have that short memory. It's behind you. Learn from it. Try to get better. Try not to make the same mistakes again, and keep continuing to get better. I mean, that's the big thing, is not making the same mistake twice.
A little poke in the middle of the field.
And that's, you know, anything in life, Robbie. If you're continuing to do the same things wrong time and time again, then there's an issue there. And maybe that comes down to coaching and your own personality, but that's what you got to do. You got to pick the things you've done wrong during the games, fix those things, and try not to do them again, and just be better.
3 minutes of extra time here as we hit the 90-minute mark. Warm night in Sacramento. West Brom came in more aggressive. Sacramento put up to a test the first 10 or so, and then right back, West Brom was just dialed in. And now they're getting a couple of extra chances for some guys here. Another shot on goal, works to his left. Jakubek able to pick it up. But West Brom, these guys, they're trying to poke one in here in the last final moments. A couple of guys who don't get a lot of time, they're trying to break the first 11.
Yeah, Malumbu right there. The ball's bouncing right on top of the box. I don't blame him for taking a crack on that one.
Malumbu already with a goal tonight. Berino in the 13th minute, and then Malumbu in the 30th, and then Ichibi. Koval with a header on the bounce off the pole. Tommy Thompson with a great header, just about 4 inches to the left, and he's got a goal, his first Republic score. But it's Koval. First night, first goal. I think he's got a pretty good track record coming in here.
Yeah, so far, good strike rate. You know, I've liked Koval today. I think he's composed on the ball, sitting in front of that back 4. Maybe like to see him be a little bit more what I would call an enforcer, be a little more aggressive, get stuck in. It's what Mirkovic does such a good job at. Almost to a fault, because he picks up a yellow card, it seems like, every game. But that's what you want from that holding midfielder position. So a player with bite, who's composed on the ball, and good with both feet.
Foul called here slowly to get up, and it'll be O'Neal.
Koval, I think, has done a great job tonight, showing that he is composed on the ball.
And you know what? I think these guys had a pretty good trip as well, because these able to get out to Pebble Beach. A couple of them playing golf out here, and you know, they really have had a nice time. And I think it was Ben Foster and My Hill and Craig Gardner playing Pebble Beach. And Craig Gardner, did see him tonight, but shot 4 over par at Pebble Beach. I think we've got a pretty good golfer on our hands. So a very tough course. Some of the best players in the world, but it was Craig Gardner, who played with Aston Villa for so many seasons. Played with Sunderland as well, and here he is with West Brom and getting a couple golf games in. You got to appreciate that. They woke up at like 2 or 3 in the morning to make that happen.
Yeah, they had to get down there for like a 7 o'clock tee-off time. So they woke up early. I tell you what, when you have the chance to play that course, I think these guys are going to take advantage of the 8 o'clock curfew. So get down there, get around in. A lot of miles on that day, but I tell you what, it's Pebble.
Pocagnoli. Header, second chance, sent away.
Yeah, just way off target there.
A great time for West Brom. We saw the video. I know you were part of that too when they were able to make the trip over to the UC Davis Children's Hospital, spend some time with some children here. I mean, really making an impact. Also, I know that they were down the VIP booth, a couple of them signing autographs, and you know, Gareth McCauley, I know, has been writing his blog, really appreciative of everything he's seen here in California, and that will be the whistle blown. But I think a great trip for West Brom. Clearly they come away with the victories, but also get a lot more out of it as well, and I think they've made an impact here. As I know, a few more people will probably be rooting on for West Brom, the way that they've handled themselves here in these friendlies, and probably watching a little of the Baggies this season coming up in the EPL.
Yeah, I have a little bit more experience, something more special to kind of latch onto as these EPL games are shown. But, you know, hopefully the squad that played tonight for Republic can learn a lesson here. I think they got kind of, you know, West Brom was just pure class from the first kick. And like I said, hopefully tomorrow these guys can wake up and really kind of evaluate to see what it takes to be a professional at the top level. And that's during games, and that's really just concentration, I think, what it comes down to for 90 minutes. And like I said, hopefully it's a good lesson for these guys to learn as these young players for Republic are coming up through the ranks.
Well, Nike's a proud sponsor of the USL Pro. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest soccer information. We appreciate you tuning in. The second annual Sacramento Soccer Day did not go the way that I think that many were hoping after Monday's match. Played so well. Talked to Coach Preki after that. He said, hey, it was a good game. He said, you know, that's the way we play. Doesn't matter who he is, we're going to come out here and we're going to give them a pretty good showing. They did that on Monday. A little tougher go-around tonight, and lots of substitutions. A lot of guys just getting some good minutes here on the park, able to play. But Sunday's going to be a different story. We're back in the USL Pro. They've got to forget all this.
Right.
Use what they learned from this. Maybe take some tricks they've learned, the physicality. See if they can impose that on Pittsburgh. It would be a 4-0 game against Pittsburgh. If they can play as physical as West Brom did, it'd be a pretty easy win for Sacramento on Sunday.
No, I think this is a great chance for these guys, the Republic, to kind of come out here and see what these players are all about. And hopefully they can take some of these lessons and maybe a few little pieces from this game, translate this into the USL for the final push for playoffs as we move forward.
Coach Preki and the crew walking off the field. We're going to go down to Scott Marsh here in just a few moments. It's a reaction from one of the Republic players here is didn't come away with the win, but you know what, I think it's always a nice treat when you see the Republic out on here. I'd rather have a professional soccer team in Sacramento and lose than, you know, without anything. And so this is a much better situation. And just a year later, here we are on a great night. And, well, the weather wasn't as wonderful as we'd liked it maybe to be, as Monday was very beautiful here at Bonney Field. A little bit tougher here this evening. But, Kevin, we move ahead here, and the games are ticking down here. I mean, this is not where we have a full season left to play here. You look at Pittsburgh on Sunday, and then you have 5 more home games after that ends on September 6th against LA Galaxy 2, and then hopefully you're on into the playoffs. But this season is moved pretty fast.
Yeah, it has. Here we are. We're more than halfway through this season. And this is where it really becomes every game, every point becomes important. So as we push for this final third of the season, it's going to be a grind, but it's come and gone here, like we talked about, more than halfway through the season, and it's going to be a fight here for the remainder of the season.
All right, and look, here we go down to Scott Marsh now, and standing by. We'll head it down to Scott here with the player of the game.
Gilbert, and tonight, Peter, obviously West Brom showed why they're in the English Premier League, played very well, got out early tonight, and you guys weren't able to come back.
Yeah, you know, we wanted a tight start, and we didn't really get it, you know. We knew they were going to come at us hard in the first 20 minutes. They did that, you know, and unfortunately it was just a bit too much for us. We made errors, and they made us pay.
Yep, and you guys had some good chances. It wasn't like you didn't have scoring chances in the first half. Just couldn't get it against, obviously, their all-world goalkeeper.
Yeah. No, Preki said that at half-time. You know, he said told the guys to keep going. We created a lot of chances. We had one cleared off the line. You know, we thought we did very well in the first half. Unfortunately, 2 mistakes, 2 goals, and we won the back foot.
Yep, and obviously you got that goal in the second half. That was good. And then, of course, you know, just the experience of playing West Brom is going to really pay off dividends as you get back to league play.
You know, the international players, the good players, they've only just started the pre-season, you know, but their intelligence, they're strong, and it really shows. But I think we more than held our own, and, you know, and the guys put 110% in today, you know, and all credit to them.
Yeah, and let's talk about Sunday, because you get back to league play with Pittsburgh coming in, and that's a big game for you guys because obviously it's going to count in the league standings.
Of course, we've had a few friendlies now, you know, and it's been an odd 10 days. We've had a lot of games in a short space of time. But, you know, the strength and depth of the squad, you know, has really helped. And, you know, we look forward to Sunday now, you know, and get back to league games and look to have a strong finish.
All right, Peter, thanks for joining us and being our Bonney Plumbing player of the game tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right, and again, that Sunday game is going to be 7 o'clock. Move back a little bit for the Heat. We look forward to seeing everybody out here Sunday night here at Bonney Field. Back up to you, Jamie.
So there's Scott Marsh there, and a final shot here of the State Fair as the Midway still open, still alive and well. And, you know, if this has been your first match of the Republic, probably not exactly what you were hoping for in terms of a loss, but you know, I like to see that they bounced back so well in that second half. They were hanging their heads. They were bending over, and it looked like a little bit of exhaustion, but they played very well coming out of the gate there. I thought they were sharper. They were ready to go. They didn't get the win, but the goal was big. I thought that was a small victory. And as you move along in the final matches here in the season, you've got to get things going. And a couple of these trialists, I don't know, they may have played their way into a roster spot. I don't know if Sacramento has the width right now to add anybody, but these guys, Peter Gilbert, I think he played very well. I think he was very strong tonight.
Yeah, I think he did a good job. You know, I'm telling you, dealing with Anichebe is no easy task. He is an absolute beast up top. I thought he did a pretty good job with it. But you know what? Put in a good performance tonight as a trialist, and who knows where that's gonna, what it's gonna lead to. But you know, it's always good to be named man of the match as a trialist. So we'll see what happens.
And for you, do you agree with that?
I think he probably did. You know, if I'm thinking objectively, we had a lot of subs throughout the game, but you know, Gilbert was pretty solid in the back. And, you know, thinking about Tommy Thompson had a decent game. Would have liked to see him be a little more crisper, sharper in the final third. So, you know, yeah, I think Gilbert probably would be my man of the match as well. Put in a solid performance. And as a center back, sometimes you don't want your name mentioned a lot. And I don't think we mentioned Gilbert's name too often. So probably a good thing. Means he's not making too many mistakes and just being a solid central defender. And also coming in from left back after the dislocated toe by Bond. So filling in for Bond as a center back, as opposed to being an outside back. So, yeah, I mean, a tough job tonight, absolutely playing against Anichebe as well.
All right, we'll come back on Sunday, will you? 7 o'clock. We'll start the pregame show a little bit before that, and should be a great night of soccer on Sunday. And then we'll take a couple of weeks off here. It seems like we've had a match on every single night here. We've been in the booth hanging out. You've probably seen me more than you've seen your family lately. And
we've been busy.
I apologize for that, but you'll get back to them shortly here. So we do appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. I want to thank our broadcast crew. Our producer behind us, always helping us out with substitutions and the like. There was a lot going on tonight. It was a little bit hectic, but we do appreciate everyone tuning in across the seas as well. And West Brom, great club, and definitely be rooting for them in the EPL this season. They showed a lot of class when they scored goals. It was just business as usual, and I think that shows a lot about who the Baggies really are. And a great trip for them. Hopefully they enjoyed California. Didn't get too sunburned. They're probably going to be the most tan people in the entire UK heading back. As
I don't know about tan. I'd call it red.
Well, red. Either way, hopefully it turns a little bronze for them.
Color.
So nonetheless, Sacramento falls here tonight, 3-1 to West Brom. But we appreciate everyone tuning in. Have a great rest of your Friday night. Enjoy Saturday here in the States, and enjoy Saturday and on into Sunday if you're across the pond. And we'll be right back here, 7 o'clock Pacific, Sacramento. Pittsburgh should be a great match, and a couple of good stories there. You might want to come back for this one. Pittsburgh really pushing hard, trying to make their case for MLS as well. We'll talk about that 2 nights from now. For Kevin Goldthwait, I'm Rob McAllister. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Good night, everybody.